What is up, everyone? It has been forever. Steven and I had to do some things before we can get episode 50 of the Party Wagon podcast ready to go. We've been super busy talking with people. We got some really cool special guests to join us today, right, Steven?
Yes, we do. Awesome guests.
We had to pay a lot of money. They had very high guarantees, and the residuals were insane. There's a lot of paperwork. So my dog's coming in as soon as I start recording, par for the course. But I want to introduce everybody to first this random guy.
What? Sorry.
Welcome.
I was texting. Hey guys. Hey Gary. Hey Steven.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. Gary, why do you have
pretty well.
What is blaring behind you?
So that's my Xbox. So I was actually telling the next guest before we all started, my camera, because my screens are so big and the nits are so high that it blows out my face. So I have to have brighter behind me. So I turn my Xbox on, and secret behind the scenes, I always have the controller in my hands, and I'm always, whenever it goes to sleep, I flick my thumbstick to make it brighten up again.
Wow. Oh, you're an Xbox guy? Ew.
I agree. See, Near, that's why I like you, man.
Yeah, what are you, Steven?
I'm an adult.
Steven, what are you? What's your jam?
I like either the PS5 or the Switch.
Thank you.
Get it in here?
Okay, those are the only right answers.
So we got
Xbox.
There's my Xbox, there's my PS5, and there's my Switch.
There they are. Let me ask you, your glasses are very reflective. Why does it say Pornhub in
You know what's funny? Let's see if you can actually get it. There's my tripod, there's the us, and then there's a big Excel spreadsheet with Bull Air's metrics. So
there you go.
And then there's the hentai screen. Speaking of hentai, bring in the other guy.
Oh my god, he looks like
guys.
Oh god.
Sorry,
He's so bright.
the nits on my screen. I don't have a monitor or an Xbox to put behind me, so it's just a shitty webcam. I'm sorry.
Hey.
What he meant to say is
radioactive.
because he's surrounded by stars, we're just so bright.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Definitely.
I saw him fucking around with his camera before, so I wanted to make sure he was ready to go.
Oh shit. So
welcome back.
I will say this, Gary. What you could do is simply that on your right half where you have that big Excel sheet, either like close the Excel sheet or just have like dark mode on.
So what I used to do, oh my god, there's so many Excel sheets. Holy shit.
See, it's already better.
What I used to do is I used to just put like I used to bring up Photoshop and just put a big black, just paint it black.
Yeah.
And leave it up there. It barely
now you
works.
don't care about the audience. You know what? I've been there.
That's your job. I'm so stupid. Anyway, I wanted to get these guys together. Because I joke with Near all the time that I got these guys together, match made in heaven, long time ago with the street or with the random Mortal Kombat thumbnail that everybody still loves. I don't know why, but like everybody on Spotify still listens to that podcast. I
know why. Because it's fucking awesome. Why?
It's the beginning of the feud.
So that was 2 years ago now? It was 2 years ago that we did that.
Yeah. Also, Gary, can you be smart with the thumbnail and do something with us doing something? Here's the problem with like fucking Jay with Geek Dad Life. He'll have a guest nobody knows.
Yeah.
It'll be like he'll have. Obviously, if he put either me or John on his stupid thumbnails, he would get hits. But he'll be like, "Here's He-Man's Origins face and this and that," and then nobody knows. It's like nobody cares about that. Put us giant stars on your fucking thumbnail.
Right?
Just be intelligent about that.
Right? Is Jay live right now? Jonathan said he might be live tonight.
10 minutes ago. He should. Yeah. He always goes live. Yeah.
Heck with old GDL. I've actually tried to get on GDL multiple times.
Have you tried? Has he rejected you?
Or he just ignores me.
Oh, he just ignores you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd want some kind of NECA shill on his episodes. Let him, talk about turtles.
I heard you're not a shill.
Yeah, so I'm not.
I thought you weren't. Oh, you mean the old you that was a shill?
Yeah, I still get my shit.
Gary, what strives have you gone through to not be a shill? Like this year? What has changed? What has changed? Put it that way.
So what happened was their figure started getting like more pokey, like they're angular, and I just can't stick them up my ass as much. So like I'm kind of falling out of it, you know.
That's
and it's just been really really hard.
Gary,
no.
don't roll with the joke, man, because that makes it. We like that it might hurt your feelings when we say that, and now you're ruining it. By the way, I got
the
this
joke.
figure.
Good.
Yeah, I got this, and I just thought of you because I got it not that long. This Spike-Or. The first thing I thought of was my buddy Gary Dolan. I was like, this'll be a challenge.
Yeah. Did you see that Spike-Or jacket we did at work?
That Spike-Or jacket is. I will say, Tom Thumb.
Wow.
I know I make that mistake, but I call him Tom Bullman. Does make some great shit, man. I have turned on a few people on the Bullman. And so this fucking dude, Mr. Home Arcade, I've told you about him. This guy is fucking sick to the point where now every fucking Bull Air release, he's going to be your biggest customer. Trust me. Because this guy, he claims he's not rich. He lives in fucking Pennsylvania. I don't know what he does. He might be an assassin because I can't figure out what he does, but I know that he goes out at night. But he will hit me up every time you guys have a release. I'd be like, dude, I just got the 2 Back to the Futures. Dude, I just got the 2 Motu and this and that. So, you know, he's that guy's a customer for life. And I told him, I was like, once you get one of these, you'll probably be fucking, yeah, look at that, dude.
Oh my God.
It's pretty fucking cool.
This makes me feel 2 things. Okay. 1, Back to the Future 2, and 2,
Yes.
Super Mario Brothers the movie.
Yeah, dude, right? With the Toad. Was that the
No,
you know,
I mean,
like there was a character,
the original one from the 90s.
The good one.
John Leguizamo, yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Where Yoshi looked like a raptor.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a brown dinosaur.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess I'll really answer your question here. Is that I keep seeing a lot more horror stories than before.
Oh, really?
Just with the whole like customer service thing. Like I love all of them to death. I do know the situation, but you know, it's you know, people don't listen to me. People don't believe me that they're a small business, because they are. And in my stupid small business of 5 people, I wear multiple hats. I'm practically running the company now, and I still have time to respond to every single customer service email that we get. And I get about 40 a day, and I respond and action them. So like, I'm still doing what's being asked.
Yeah.
So
but why
can't they?
But
Like
the difference is, because you told us right before we went live that you had like a notes app with generic responses, and most of them are like, fuck off, fuck you, I don't give a shit.
Those are called canned responses. Thank you.
Oh, okay. You said a word earlier, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
Because Gary, I think because you care about the people, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, but I can see where a lot of negativity, like, you know, part of it's like the more people that air quote boycott buying their stuff, if they actually do, which I know Jonathan is not. Like, that's like, I know Jonathan is an honest person, so when he's like, I'm not buying their stuff, like, I know he is. But like all the people in our group that are like, I'm not pre-ordering from them, I'm not buying from them anymore. I mean, clearly people are.
And then the next week you see them with a photo in Target. They're still in Target, and they're like, got it today.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, part of me is like, I just don't want to see the stuff that I like collecting go away. So I do try to shun a lot of the negativity, because when you're negative, then, you know, people do actually stop buying, and then they stop making the shit I want. So that was kind of how I've always been, and why people are always like, oh, you're a fucking NECA show. And it's like, no, I just don't want the stuff that I like buying to go away. So I'm going to do what I can to be like, you know, you're probably wrong. And let's be fair, most people that do send emails when they're missing shit are usually dickheads.
Right.
Like, I get them. I get the emails. I know how people are. But it just comes to a point where, like, at what point do you just dedicate somebody? Because, like,
yeah, I mean, I do all of my stuff myself as well. And I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
like,
dude.
Because obviously I have my YouTube channel. I'll reply to every single comment. And if I don't, it's because I blocked you some time ago. But I reply to every single comment.
fucking getting a response. Damn.
Yeah. We've talked about this live. And then when I sell my stuff, you know, I'm replying and resolving anything that might come up there. Like generally the issue is like, hey, do you have any idea when this ships? And I'm like, oh, I said a 4-week pre-order. And they're like, oh, oops. You know, so it's usually something
Story of my
small.
life.
If something gets damaged in shipment or whatever, I just like need confirmation, like just send me some photos of what got damaged. And then I just send the stuff out almost always the exact same day that I got the response. So, I mean, I bust my the stupid emoji.
I was like, are you doing that yourself or is it just doing it automatically?
Man. Except for when I want it to, apparently. Okay. That's stupid. So, well, that sucks. But yeah, so I know you can really bust your ass to try to take care of people because I mean, regardless, at the end of the day, you don't want people to be upset, or even if it's a personal thing where you're like, I don't want them to dislike me or whatever. That's deep down inside. Maybe you actually care. Mir, I'm talking to you now. You actually care. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, like
well,
what you were
Gary,
saying.
hold on a second here. How come you have never reached out to them and be like, what the fuck, right? Why aren't you helping out these customers that have it? Not you, but their lack of customer service.
What do you mean?
How come you never reach out to somebody?
What do you mean? Like reaching out to Blaine?
Yeah, or somebody be like, what is going on?
I do.
Okay.
I literally reach out to him and I was like, I've reached out to all of them. I was like, hey, like a couple of times with Blaine, I'm like, is there any pain points that I can help with? Like, I'm not looking for money or anything. Like,
right.
Where is the disconnect? Where are these issues? I'll provide feedback, or like I'll talk with Randy and I'll be like, with whatever's going on, like the Donnie's lab. Like, if you want to let me know how you want me to white knight it, let me know like actually what's going on. Like, instead of being quiet, like, why did the Donnie's lab thing happen? Well, because people weren't paying the fuck attention in the warehouse that was shipping them. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Right. And that nobody, well, I shouldn't say, I read the comments on Facebook and some people just care about every little thing, but the majority and what matters, I will say nobody cares about the shipping fiasco happening. What everybody cares about and what pissed me off and got me to the point that I am is everything that followed that. That's what we want an answer for.
Yeah.
How do we get these double downs, these like loosely threats, I guess.
Yeah. So, I have an assumption, but I know like my assumption I think is pretty close. What that was whomever is in charge of that fuck up was mad when they wrote that email. Instead of like taking time.
Yeah, but they wrote, but Gary, they wrote 3 emails.
I know, and I'm telling you, they're pissed off the whole time.
No, but meaning like 3 emails over the course of days.
It was like 2 days, right? It was like 2.
Yeah.
It was like 2 in one day and then 1 in another. I know, I saw them, but
also maybe you're an adult that can control your emotions. That's one thing that you should be doing. But
2, if
there is an arrogance with a lot of these companies. And it happens in the toy industry, and it happens in Hollywood, and it happens in any kind of entertainment, where it's this mentality, especially, and I'm talking, this is probably at a corporate level. This is probably like at the most corporate of levels, and I don't believe that the people you're talking to probably have anything to do with it. I can't imagine. But, there is this arrogance of like, are you good enough to buy from us? And the things have changed. Things are changing now. It's why Sonic happened, 20 years ago, Sonic would have been designed like shit, and they would have been like, no, man, we fucking know. But now people are like, no, I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to make you a success because I'm going to smash you to bits, and you're not going to be able to recover. You'll barely recover. And so the mentality that I think was very prominent when a lot of these toy companies are starting, and I've not just seen it with NEC, I've seen it with other companies. I know people that work for studios and statue companies and toy companies that are here states or here in Cali, and they're feeling the pinch of like, there's a lot of influencers out there. There's a lot of like, when we do something, when we fuck up, people will tell us that in real time. People will listen to those people. Look at all there are more movie critics that get more views than the movies themselves. Because if you don't win the favor of the people, it's like Gladiator. That's where we're at. It's like you got to win the hearts of the people. And if you don't, people will call you out. And like, I think it's nothing personal. I know John, for him, it's not like a personal thing. It's just like shot across the bow. That's the first thing. And when John says he's going to boycott it, he represents people that also feel the same way. And so if they were smart, they would own it and just be like, and not have this arrogant kind of point of view and just basically, say there were mistakes made, but they're not going to. And who knows? They might go down in flames. I don't know. Everything has an end, right?
That right there. So it's okay. Some guy who was pissed off because he fucked up. Damn these emojis. Hold on.
Good job, Jonathan.
Fucking turn these reactions off.
Good thought. Right. Good thought process.
It never works when I want him to. Okay. What I'm meaning to say. If that guy was pissed off because he fucked up or whatever, and he's trying to resolve it and get people to take care of his problem, nobody else stepped in and said, hey, Jim, you're being a dick to thousands of our customers, and we don't like that. Instead, they just went, okay, everybody walk out of the room, turn the lights off, and don't say anything. Just pretend like we aren't here. But you guys are here, and you do hear us, and you do see what's going on, but nobody's acknowledging anything. And that was the stuff that was like really pushing me and making me angry over this whole situation. Yes, they never sent me my Ronin Splinter, even with emails, and it was just nonstop emails.
Oh, you never got that?
Never got it.
No.
I ended up just getting a charge back through my bank to get it resolved, but they never ever replied about that issue ever. They did reply to a fake email saying I got a second Donnie's lab, and I was like, just kidding. Tell me where my lab is.
It's like a rabbit trap. You got him in the room, and then it's like, it has nothing to do with Donnie's lab. Give me my fucking Ronin Splinter.
Then he popped his tooth out and had a cyanide pill. So he's like, oh no, you caught me. But there was no acknowledgement or apology, and that would have gone such a long way if they just had come out and said, hey guys, we know that this is what's been going on, and had even Chat GPT could have been like, all right, this is what's going to sound like a business friendly thing that kind of covers your butt. So just say this simplified version. They could have done that, and they didn't. And this is like on the realm of like premium DNA, just not even, man, I'm always
which we will get to.
Okay.
No, you can go. I was saying like that's part of me being friends with those guys and where I'm at with that situation.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And by the way, I will say again, I've said it many times, but like John and I have nothing but love for like the artists at NECA. Funny enough, I didn't tell you this story, John. I told it to Gary. I ran into Trevor Zamet and Aaron Azuri, and I think maybe there was another woman there, maybe wife, girlfriend. I don't know. But they were real nice. We were just talking about the Sesame Street line. John, I actually fucked up becoming a shill because my honesty fucked me up. Because Trevor was like, "Hey, you don't have the Count Dracula, the Count, the Count from Sesame Street, do you?" And I was like, "Actually, my buddy got it. He's gonna send it to me to review." He's like, "Oh, okay, never mind then." So I was like, "Oh, fuck! Like, what fuck did I say that? Like, I totally just fucked that one up." And I said, "Hey, can you forget that I said that?" He's like, "No, I can't really."
I did. So I did, as you said. I screenshotted the conversation. I got to send it to Trevor.
So I potentially screwed myself out of a fucking count. But anyway, that is indicative of the kind of relationship that I think we have with other artists. And you know, John, you talk to guys like Aaron, you talk to guys like Brody.
Yang.
You know what I mean? Like,
Brody,
it's because I think they can't say it, but come on, they agree that those are shitty tactics. Because like, you know, they're if you're an artist, you understand the value of people buying your art. You don't want to fuck them over. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a corporate mind. And so, you know, I think, look, I know that NECA's owned by some rich muckety muck. I know who owns it. It's like just some like rich dude. You know what I mean? And he just probably that culture stems from him. That it's not like a guy who's like, oh my God, I love, you know, it's like it's or maybe he was that way, but like culture stems from the top. There's a reason why. Who's the dude who owns Costco? There's a reason why that guy does so well, because he's like a man of the people. That fucking, he like drives like a pickup truck. He like fucking gives raises to people. He keeps his food at a he barely raises the price.
Hot dogs and a drink.
Yeah, exactly. That dude knows how to fucking run a company. He knows how to like be connected to the people, even though, let's face it, he's filthy fucking rich. You know what I mean? So that culture stems from the top.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what we're saying here is like we're kind of like touching, and I always feel like I always go into my job because I mean that's my fucking my life, so it's my experience. But like, you know, the way Tom and I work, right? No matter how much money comes into our business, right? We always give away free shit, right? Like it's like no matter how much money we get, we're always exactly like the poor. We act like we're the poorest fucking people, and we're always going to continue to work hard. And you know, some of us drive normal gas cars. The other one drives a goddamn, you know, fucking Cybertruck.
Yeah, I don't know why you bought that.
I did. It was Tom. Tom pre-ordered it like the day of. So
does Tom really drive a Cybertruck?
Yeah, he has a black Cybertruck that literally has.
He has a black one.
Well, it says he had a Bull Airs sticker put on the front and the back, like on it, and then he got it wrapped in matte black. So when the light hits it just right, it says Bull Airs on it.
Wait, where does Tom live? Because I just saw a Cybertruck on the road that was black.
But did it say Bull Airs?
He lives in New York. No. We're in New York.
No, but it had something, Steven. There was something on the back. It was very weird because it was a completely black matte, but there was something on the back and I couldn't make it out. And it stood out because there was nothing on the car and one thing. So now I'm like, but you're saying he doesn't.
It's funny. Side note: he lives in like a small college town, and he just started getting the Cybertruck hate. Like a woman spit on his truck the other day and flipped him off, and then so it's so funny. So
this is how
Cybertruck
people are,
dude. It's crazy. Like I'll tell you how I feel about it, but like the Cybertruck's always recording, so it recorded everything, and he posted it on Facebook. And since it's a small town, it was like, hey, that's your friend, that's so-and-so's wife, which is one of Tom's friends. So they totally called her out on it.
So he knew the person that spit on his car?
Yeah, so he knew who it was. Well, he knows the husband. So like, anyway, so they go to her Facebook and she's talking shit. You know, it's flipped off my first Cybertruck today or whatever. And then I guess like his wife was like, you know, giving her shit or whatever. She ended up taking down the post. So there's a whole video and everything because she denied it. And the Cybertruck films everything because it's got cameras everywhere.
That's wild.
Dude, we're fucking dying.
I mean, it's not like the guy inside the truck is Elon. Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
This is how dumb our brains are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about like the protest. Fuck you. I mean, literally, no one can agree. Like, and I don't think anybody here agrees with like the way that he operates. But like, Tom pre-ordered this thing like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, as soon as it came up, and then when you buy it, you're locked into it for a year, so you cannot sell it. So like, it's not like he can sell it if he wanted to. He has to have it.
Dude, there are so many people. Dude, I live in Cali. There's so many. There's a whole infrastructure built around Tesla.
Yeah.
There's a from San Diego to San Francisco, which, I mean, come on, dude. It is as democratic left as you can get. And there is an infrastructure that is built around Tesla. And what do you expect everybody now to give them away and sell them? Like,
right.
Don't spit on a Tesla. Like, just because you fucking hate the dude. I don't like him either, but it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? So now everybody is looped in and representing isn't the guy who I drive a Mustang? Isn't the guy who owned Ford like a dickbag or something? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, who cares?
I know people that drive Mustangs are dickbag. No,
right.
John has an opinion about people who drive Mustang as well. But that's another opinion.
Totally got off track there about Tesla.
Yeah.
But hell yeah.
But I will say this for Tom, and I'm not just like, Tom's like an artist. Like, Tom is like a tattoo artist who like also makes like he's a guy who started a company because he's like, I'm an artist, and you know, I this is going to be an extension of like, there's a reason why he's got kind of like, there's almost like a hip hop vibe about what he does, and like the fans of what he does, and like, so like that to me is more in line with like businesses that I like, where it's just like, this is an artist that started this business, and you know, he probably has to bring in the right people to kind of like, you know, stay afloat, but that to me is like as pure as you get. You know what I mean? Like he like, I can tell everything he comes out with, he's like, this is from his brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really how it is. I have to yell at him daily because all he wants to do is just draw. That's it. He just wants to sit down and draw and do editing all damn day. And I'm like, we got to do taxes, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just really funny. Because I'm with you, Jonathan. Like, in here, it's like I've been trying to tell people is you just can't get up and just sell your fucking car because the owner decided to be a dickbag. You know,
okay. Here's the other thing. It's like even if you did, it's like there are a lot of people that they save a lot of money by having these electric cars because again, there's like the Target right next to where I moved to in this town. It's not like a big town. I mean, I came from LA. This town is a relatively small town, but like there's the central hub of like Tesla charging stations. There's people that save a lot of money because they have what's it called, solar panels. So they're charging everything. And to be very honest, I wouldn't trust car companies now that are just getting into the electric car business because Tesla has had years to perfect it. I've heard horror stories about like other EVs, like there is a Mustang EV that I just read about, and there's people just talk about like the problems with it. So you can't put that on people. Like there's really only one place to go right now if you want an EV. If it was like tons of places and it was real easy to sell, that'd be a different story. But like you can't like penalize people just because like the fucking like. And again, I don't want to get political, but whatever you think of the leader of the company now, that doesn't mean that your life can suddenly change. So that fucking dummy that spit on his Tesla is just a fucking overreactionary emotional baby. Stupid shit like that, man. It's dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck NECA, right? Because
that's right, John.
Spit on them.
I'll spit on you.
Yeah. So the point about NECA was like. Before we got sidetracked, it's like no matter how big our company theoretically gets in mind's eye, like we still take care of everything. And like I was told that the person that handles the customer service at NECA is like it's not their job. It's like something they do when they have time because they have an actual like job there or whatever. It's like how they save money.
That tracks.
Yeah, that's why you don't get responses right away, right?
But that's the problem.
But like for me, it's the same situation. Like, I paint, I'm an account manager. I do meetings, I do everything. And then I also do email and I have time to fucking do them all.
It's amazing what scheduling your fucking day on a calendar could do.
Yeah,
exactly.
The first hour of my day, I'm just going to work on stuff that I enjoy here at the business rather than starting my day with like, fucking emails. But, from 10 to 11, I'm going to just answer emails. And that's on my calendar every single day. And it's a do not disturb. Nobody can bother me. I have to just respond to these emails.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, you're in the headspace for it.
And I agree. Like I used to answer emails first thing in the morning, but then I open up an email. It's like, fuck you. Your shit sucks. And I'm like, well, there was my fucking happy day. So I don't do emails until like noon now. So,
but also you're a smaller company. I mean, like NECA can't afford a dedicated a customer service person that's their whole job, that's their whole reason for existing is just to deal with customer service,
which we all know there's not one product that NECA doesn't sell that doesn't have issues. I mean, look at the street dials that are coming out missing signs.
Right. They're already they're like missing things. They're missing signs, pizza signs, whatever.
Yeah, now Jonathan has to make something to fix everybody's because they're all
people have been asking.
Maybe John's in cahoots with them and just like, hey, look, if you don't put it in the box, everybody will just think it's just NECA being NECA. But I then can shine and I will split those profits with you. John, that's really fucking smart, actually, man.
It is pretty smart because the solution is you either send hey, box it up, send it back to us. If we can give you a replacement, we will. If we can't, we'll issue a refund. Now that we have the product, that was the answer the other day.
So I've gotten that email as well. That is by the way, they're not the only ones that do that. Mesco does that as well. I got that Mesco 4-pack and it had a trench coat on Raphael. That's a beautiful 4-pack. I think we all agree. But the coat didn't close. The button was broken. It was not good. But it looks fine, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I've just said like, hey, this fucking the button is warped. Can you send me a new one. They're like, okay, we'll put you on the list. Literally a year later, I'm like, hey, I've been on this list for a year. They're like, okay, well, if you send it back, we can let you know when it comes in. It was the same kind of Russian roulette. And I'm just like, oh, I see how it is. So this item is sold out. You know I'm not going to send it back. So this is like your way of getting out. It's like,
or if you send it back, now they have a box of parts. So this is like
someone that's missing it.
The Kino with the scooter, and then the TMNT 4-pack was coming out at the same time, and it was hit or miss. I had a broken wrist peg, and they were like, "Send us the whole thing back, and then we'll send you." And then while I'm getting their emails, which is weird because they would reply to emails back then, other people are like, "Hey, they sent me a whole torso. Hey, they sent me a leg, the foot, a whole figure, like all these parts." So then I'd be like, are you sure you can't just send me a hand? One hand? And they're like, nope, send the whole thing back. And I'm just like, okay, I guess mine would become a parts bin or something.
Right.
I got two things to that. So to what you're saying, I had one of my Professor Perry's take a dive and his foot snapped off.
Oof.
So I messaged somebody and I was like, this happened. I was like, this is my own fault. Am I able to buy another one? And they're like, oh, just message the customer service and they'll get you another one. I was like, but I don't want, I said, but this is my fault. Like I broke this, like it fell off my shelf. They're like, well, just send it. So I sent an email and I said, hey, I'm a customizer. This happened. You don't need to send me a whole figure. Is there any chance you could just send me from the knee down and I'll take care of the rest myself? And they sent me a bubble mailer, little tan bubble mailer with Professor Perry's fucking shin in it. Heated it up, swapped it right out. It was like I got it in a week. So like, and that was 6 months ago, maybe. That wasn't even that long ago, I don't think. It could have been longer, but it wasn't.
They're very random with. They seem to be very
that's
random.
What I'm going to start doing. Sorry.
What happened?
I'm just going to start signing all my emails Gary Dolan.
I know, me too. Yeah, me too.
No, but I think they are very. I mean, for me, for NECA, for an example, I asked because I was missing the pizza sign. Well, I am missing it, and they said that they know about the issue and they're gonna send it out when they get it.
Yeah.
Will they ever? Probably not.
Yeah. What I want you to do is, Jonathan, design one that's like a almost like a nudie bar with like the LED with like the neon sign, right? And we need to do a the outline of Nier's face, right? And it'll be like Nier's nudies or Nier's nudes or like Hatter Hub. We'll get like a little nudie bar for on the side.
Nearly
John,
legal.
If you ever put my real name on a thing, I'm gonna hunt you.
Well, now it's definitely gonna happen.
Damn it! Why did I say that?
It's just so. But the way that I write emails, I will always just say, I will always start it with, hey, I hope you're having a great day. I apologize for having to reach out about this, but this is my situation. What is
oh, I see. You're like, hey, NECA. I don't know why people call you.
We got it.
Yeah,
I think it's clear.
That's just how I write emails. Like I just do them like super professional and friendly, and I always get responses within like 24 hours.
Look, I don't send emails that are rude. I'm pretty nice about it too. Hey guys, just casual or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm also nice at the start. I'm also very polite. Like, hi, can I?
Yeah. But I'm not gonna ask them about their day, and I don't want to have this whole conversation that like they don't care about, because if I get an email that doesn't just get to the point, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I definitely know. But like when I feel like everybody else just gets to the point and never gets responses. So I feel like that's the workaround is like if you put in that little bit of extra effort, they usually respond. That's just kind of my experience.
Now, it's NECA just, I understand that they're a small company, but did they just get too big not to care about customer satisfaction?
Right. That's a great question.
Yeah, no, that is a great question.
Yes, no, it's that. But it begins with that culture from the top. It's like I'm sure that person, whoever, whatever the brass is, doesn't care. They don't want to hear it. They don't, want to issue an apology, God forbid, because that shows some kind of fucking weakness or whatever. And again, I'm only harping on it because they're not the only company that functions this way. there's a disease. Mesco has it. NECA has it. There are other companies that John and I have been vocal about. I'm not going to say their name because then I'm going to get a text saying, "Hey, why are you say that about us?" There's a certain somebody that likes to make G.I. Joe type figures who is also very, high up on himself as well. There is this culture of like arrogance that just happens. What happened?
Who could that be?
Yeah, who could that be?
I wonder if
There's
somebody I
this
just
culture
gave
of
free
like,
shit
hey,
to.
we know best. And look, you might know best, but be nice to the people. Put on a nice face, and humility goes a long way, especially now that like we are now the only ones buying these. To people in our generation are the only. There's no kids buying. You're now on an island. Maybe there was some kind of weird crossover at some point where like kids were like buying, these kind of things, and then it crossed over, and then we kind of became adult. But now it's firmly adults. It's only adults. You're only in the adult business, and we'll only buy for so long. And I see it a lot. I see this kind of like.
I'm curious about this with NECA because they have that small building in New Jersey. So is this like, is NECA just still like in that building is still the same NECA crew? It's the same people. So the higher ups and that, is that even like trickling down? Because it has to hit, I would assume, I don't know the full structure here, but Randy and Trevor are going to be like your top two boys inside of the NECA team. So if that's the case, then those two guys are trickling down the shit storm.
So
which
from my understanding, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. To
oh God!
No. It's just if certain people say this and I misspeak. When I spoke with Blaine at San Diego Comic-Con, which him and I text all the time, but specifically when I was hanging out with him at San Diego, I brought up the customer service thing, and also Jonathan, the issue with us applying for as like getting stuff early to review.
Yeah.
And that person was just fired, and they never told anybody for 6 months. Just didn't exist. So that all those requests just went into the abyss. When I talked to Blaine about it, he said that he was in charge of trying to fix things. So that was around July of last year, and I paid attention, and things were getting better around that time when he was taking care of it and he was overseeing and supposedly trying to fix things. But I don't know if they moved him from it, because if you look at the bottom of boxes now, he's now like being noted as product development. So he's up there with like Randy and Trevor on these boxes now, like with Pee Wee Herman and Vincent Price and stuff like that. So I don't know if he just doesn't have time to oversee it anymore, which is now we're seeing it go to shit. But I think what you're getting at is like, I don't know if they handle it in the New Jersey office, but I have a theory that they handle it in like that in the Wisconsin office or some shit, where like stuff ships out of in that area, like the Midwest. They have multiple like shipping areas, but I feel like it's something that's not there in their New Jersey office, so they don't handle it.
It's like, man, when I used to work retail management, I worked for a cell phone company, and it was an authorized retailer, so it wasn't like a real cell phone company. But if somebody had a bad experience 10 minutes down the road at one of the other locations, we all had that. That was all of us. We were all the ship people until they're in my store, and then we work to like win that customer over, and then realize that like, it's not like we'll just come here now. So it's like their failure helps me, but that's not the case for NECA. The failure in the warehouse doesn't help the design team or the product team or anything. So we have to all be the same. So like, it's like there's this disconnect. Well, that's their problem. Customer service isn't our problem. No, it is your problem, because then your name won't be on the bottom of that box because you're terminated, because the company can't afford you, or because we can't make as many figures. So we, like all of this is going to come into play here. Bad customer service is very detrimental to a company.
Yeah.
They seem to act like it's not for them, which is wild to me. But a small apology could go such a long way. The amount of comments that get deleted off of things like Instagram. My own comment got deleted about, I don't know, it was probably in regards to Splinter or something like that. And eventually
I
get a
actually saw your
DM.
comment. I know what you're talking. It was, and I do know what you're talking about because I read the comments and I saw yours on.
Well, they eventually sent me a DM and they're like, "Hey, sorry we didn't get the thing sent out to you, blah blah blah. Like, let us know the order number and all that stuff." But it was under like my brand name, and I was like, "No, I want it handled as it should be. I don't want to be, hey, I'm Nostalgia Unboxed. Not that it's like that big of a deal, and the person on that end might not know, but I don't want to have any connection between Nostalgia Unboxed and me, the person that bought something.
Yeah, no special treatment.
I want you to just solve the
like
problem, and then I'll go out and be able to say, like, hey, they handled it. But then I saw that they were deleting comments, and I'm like, oh, and by the way, why are you deleting comments? And they're like, in the DM, telling me that they didn't delete comments. And I'm like, well, that's just a blatant lie. And then that still never got anywhere. So they never resolved anything. They just were like, hey, we're trying to help, but if you just tell us the order number. And it's like, but I shouldn't have to. This shouldn't be in this situation where we're in a DM saying, hey, I got a problem, because I've sent you plenty of emails that just should just be resolved already. Go through and fix all of them, and then mine will be resolved.
It's a blatant disconnect, in my opinion. Like that's horseshit. And for all I know, like what if multiple people run that Instagram now? Like so the person that DMs you is not the person.
Exactly.
Actually, so like that, so someone could be deleting comments, and that person has nothing, no idea. And now you look like a lying company.
Yeah. Which makes me very curious. Who's the sensitive baby in that social group that is deleting those comments? If it's one person running it, then we know who it is. If it's multiple people, then we got to find out who that is, because that's the cancer in the group that's going to spread to everybody else. Yeah, and that's kind of the situation with the customer service altogether.
Yeah, I had to explain that to Tom. Tom used to do the same shit. He handles all of our social media stuff. Like that's actually Tom, and he would delete comments of people like bitching about orders and stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, leave them up there, because I will reply to them, and I will get. So because the problem with that stuff is, right, like for you're justified. Your shit is not sent. Like they fucked up. There's no excuse. For us, it's like, yeah, your order hasn't shipped yet because it says it's shipping in Q3 and it's fucking Q1. Like that's why you're ordering. So, like I answer people's stuff, right?
Yeah, it's usually it's almost always a lack of reading on the customer's part.
So like deleting stuff just makes you look guilty immediately.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Answer people's questions on this. Like I think that's always the best way to do it.
It's like whenever a business puts a website up and then they have like testimonials. I'm like, oh, this is such horseshit unless it's pulling in randomized from Google, because you're just cherry picking the best stuff. Like I want to see the 1 stars and the 2 stars, and then go, oh, well, this idiot just says it was the wrong product for what I needed, 1 star. And it's like, oh, I know you're in it. Like this doesn't affect, for me.
Yeah.
But
I think it would go a long way if they kind of changed up things in a way that was visible. If you look at a company like Mondo used to get a lot of heat. They used to get a lot of people shitting on. I used to shit on Mondo all the time. I would make purchase videos where I would just curse them out and just like, like I lost the scare glow. I lost the poster. They're still up. I had a video where the thing broke apart, and I just like, I bought 1 figure and I got 2. You know what I mean? Like just like real rage bait kind of stuff. Somehow they changed the culture around there. Okay. They're like, oh, it's a smaller team now. We have to deal with less parts, this and that, blah, blah. I'll take their word for it. I have no idea. It could be the same people, but visibly they changed things around. And I'm not just talking from a product sense. They started reaching out to, not that they have to reach out to people like John and I or you, but like they started to like be more personable in terms of like the things that they wanted to do. They started to be upfront. They started to take like interesting swings. Like, they had a fucking genius sculptor, Alex, that like put out Ghostbuster stuff on social media. They're like, fuck it, let's do that. You know what I mean? Now they got bought, they have some Funko capital, but they were also before that not as big as NECA. So, but what I'm saying is now they have, other than like what people do complain about, which is the price, which for a 1/6 scale figure, I don't think the price is bad. It's a hot toy price thing. Like what? Like
Right.
it's not like you can't price it at a 1/12 scale figure, but you can't deny that the cultural change that they've made, they got on people's side somehow. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be people that bitch about like the price and this and that, but now people are not rooting for them to fail. They don't feel bad about giving them like money because it's like, you know, people hate giving money to people that when they feel they don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? So
and talking about buying the product, and if there is a quality control issue or a broken part, a missing part, paint issues or whatever, within 24 hours, guaranteed you'll get a reply back from them about the problem, and probably immediately, as long as you sent the photos, get some kind of update about the replacement parts. So there's like pure confidence. I have no problem spending over $200 on a figure, and if it arrives looking like a dookie, cross-eyed or something, I'm like, whatever, I'll get a replacement. They will handle it, and you'll be it's like ordering with Chewy. If you guys do that with your pets, like Chewy's customer service is stellar.
It's incredible. We used to do it all the time. Incredible.
I don't want to spend $35 on NECA because I don't want to ship them the fucking product and maybe never see it again.
A couple things to that. So there was an issue. I'm looking at Nier's case. Didn't Rogue have a head issue? Like her paint on her face looked really weird.
Her she came out cross-eyed.
And they sent brand new heads, right? You didn't have to send anything back. You just had to send them an email with pictures, and then they sent you when they showed up.
They say, dude, they're and look, I don't even expect NECA to reach that threshold of replacement because that's a high bar. I mean, they will replace. I mean, you got to show them the proof. But they're pretty generous with their replacements.
I got a full Rogue body replacement.
Yeah,
and I wasn't even asking for it, but I sent photos so they knew, like, because at that time they're like, just send us as many photos as you can because they're trying to collect data on like how widespread the issue is, what the issues are. Right. And I'm like, I just need these 3 heads. Here's also photos of the body so you can compare. And then I ended up getting a full body too.
Yeah. And it's as easy as like, all they have to do is have an Excel spreadsheet, and it like as long as they set it up, you got your customer name, you got your order number, and then you've got maybe a drop down of what they need for replacements. Like what's the issue, and you can have an exclusive Rogue one.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is NECA doesn't even have to get, nor I don't think they can get to that point of replacement, quote unquote, generosity.
Right.
But if they just did 1/10 of it, if they just fucking showed like just made a concerted effort, but the thing with the labs does represent the way they feel about people. That's a real thing when you tell people like you know, like you're not in good standing, and like it's an arrogant. And by the way, me and many other people apparently are not in good standing.
Yeah, you never get the promo code.
Yeah,
I don't get promo code. John had to try to give me his promo code. It didn't work. I emailed them. I said, "What the fuck?" I will say to their credit, I wrote them not an angry email, but I was like, "This is the second time I didn't get a thing, and I ordered that Spirit of Splinter pack only to find out later it was $20. I've spent thousands of dollars with you. You should honor the code." And they did. They gave me a $20. But then I heard from maybe it was Mo. I forgot who it was, but they said they didn't honor their code. And there are many other people like my buddy Reed, who John knows, like that are in good standing. I believe them when they say they didn't get a Donnie Lab that they didn't send back. I certainly didn't get a free Donnie Lab because, trust me, I'd make content out of it. I'd be like, nanny boo boo, I got a fucking free Donnie Lab. What are you gonna do?
Now it's a cat litter box.
I didn't get shit. And what happened?
Said now it's a cat litter box.
Yeah, exactly. I'll make it a cat litter box. But so that's another thing. So like I think people are just real burnt on it. I haven't seen anybody fight John's like boycott, like, what, man, this and that. Everybody, you know, that feels the way he does. He represents.
Sorry. I just love to interrupt you, so I wanted to say.
Yeah, I know you do. What the fuck do you want?
I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have anything to say. I'll get comments on a video that somebody will say, "Oh, are you going to review the X thing from NECA?" And I reply, sorry, as for now, I will not be replying to NECA based on all of their stuff until they issue like public apologies for the fiasco.
Right.
And they go, oh, totally understand, man. Thanks. Like they get it.
Yeah, they get it. Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I mean, I can't make excuses for it. I mean, in my personal opinion, I do better than they do with more on my plate as my assumption for when it comes to it. Like,
all I heard was moron, and then something about a plate.
I understand. So like, I what are your guys' takes? Like, I understand like when you buy stuff from like Target and they're like, well, you got to bring it back to Target to get a replacement. And like, I know we get pissed off. We're like, there's not more of these at Target. Now there is, because it seems that they're overloading them. But like when you do like with Mondo, right, or Mezco, like these aren't issues that a lot of these companies are seeing with like retailers. Like they're not buying them from Entertainment Earth and like seeing a lot of issues. Like these are like direct to consumer, especially Mondo. Right. So you know how many, like you know what's going out and you know what to expect back. So NECA should take care of everything that's on their website. If they are selling you direct, there's no excuse why they can't respond to any emails or take care of it. I can understand anyone else with their wholesale, like go back to the retailer. But like, how many fucking products do you have on your website that you can't take care of stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of gargoyles.
Rip. But some of the things I was going to say was like Super 7, right? Super 7 sent me the glow in the dark scratch. Tail was broken off. Okay. Sent it back. They said, you got to send it back. So I did. I sent it back to them. And then they sent me a whole brand new one. Perfect. Beautiful. I got that Samurai Leo, the Samurai Sewer Leo, whatever the fuck it was. And I don't know if you've ever seen it, Jonathan. I know Near has, where he was like crazy bobblehead. His legs are super wobbly, and I'm just shaking it, and he's like fucking Woody from Toy Story. Like just it is awful. I tried to put the head on, the seams cracked because the head was wrong, and I made a video on it, and it went viral, and people and Brian commented on it, Brian Flynn, and then someone was like, contact this customer service. So I emailed them and they took care of me. They sent me a brand new one, didn't even ask for the other one back.
Yeah.
But it was like, that was like what I mean. Like they are policing the internet. Like they're seeing these things. When people tag them, they respond. One thing I do know is that, in my personal opinion, rightfully so on some of them, but the NECA crowd is toxic as shit. Absolutely horrible. I'm not talking about Ninja Turtles. I'm just saying, like, you look at any fucking post about anything, and it's just like, when the fuck are you giving me my 110th fucking Predator figure? It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn, My Little Pony post. Like, relax. But like, they're the most toxic fucking people, right? But like, and I know they don't read the comments. Like, that's the thing. Like,
sometimes they do, because then there's like, if it's a nice comment, they reply.
Yeah, right.
You're talking about on their own social media?
Yeah, like I know for a fact Trevor doesn't read the comments. So, okay. I mean, but Trevor's also not the guy that handles any of that shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to read them.
No, but like, people just like to complain about that stuff. But, Super 7, arguably bigger, in my opinion, just as big, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're equally as big, but they handle stuff within 48 hours.
Yeah, and it's always the same name in there. Not Randy. What is the name of the guy? I used to know it. It was like anytime you email Super 7, you always get a response from the same person. It makes me wonder.
Rudy.
Thank
you. Is it Rudy? Yeah.
Yes, Rudy. And then I was like, man, I wonder, is it actually a guy, or is it just always signed off the same way?
We're all Rudy. They only hire Rudies.
Yeah,
I just got a discount on my Cat Slayer from that guy.
Oh, nice.
Like he was like, I wrote an email. I said, hey, what's going on? It actually just came in. He goes like I said, what's going on with Cat Slayer? It came out pretty dinged up. Not that, but like the box is worthless. He goes, thanks for informing of the issue. We'll be refunding the full cost of shipping to you. Process within the next 10 days. It's $100.
Wow.
So he just knocked off $100 off that Cat Slayer.
Wow.
NECA would never do that.
Never. No,
they would never knock $100 off.
Oh my God, it's so weird. These small companies, they're so weird. Like I have major problems with Brian Flynn when he goes on podcasts and then he always blames somebody else and then doesn't what's an example? The GI Joes. Oh yeah, they came in from the factory and the faces didn't look like we wanted to. Okay, people still have them. People still paid for them. Like,
Right.
That's all you're gonna say? Why did you pay for those from the factory? Like,
why did you proceed?
Anyway, but
Yeah.
this is a neck of burn down podcast. I didn't want to.
Oh,
We're trying
is this strictly a neck of burn down?
I think so.
I mean, it's what
We're
we
the
kind of all have
toxic
in common. We're all frustrated, but most of us still love it. Bye, Jonathan.
Well, that's the problem. Is like I do love it, and when I was at Target yesterday, and I saw Bert on the shelf, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna open it up and just see what it looks like up close. And seeing it in person, I was like, oh my god, it's so fucking good. You can see the texture; it's so good. People's videos and pictures just don't do it justice. And seeing it, that's one of those rare figure lines where in person it's just so much better than on camera. But I had to put it back.
I shared this really funny photo on Instagram. So I forgot who took it.
We'll be the judge of that.
And it was Ernie, and he was like looking at the flowers. I think it's from a movie, and he's like bent over, and behind it, Bert was just holding a gun to the back of his head.
Oh, I've seen that. That's
so
great.
good.
Another flower.
Dude, people are taking some funny ass fucking photos.
Oh yeah,
dude, they're great. They're fun. I have them. Obviously, I keep pulling them up. I love them. I have no history with Sesame Street. Like, I actually didn't watch Sesame Street growing up. I just know Sesame Street because I'm same age.
Gary, it's okay you didn't. It's okay. Explains a lot.
Didn't grow up with Sesame Street. Xbox, John. I don't know if you were here for that. Xbox is the chosen thing, which is, I mean, that says a lot, dude.
Do you want to know the reason? Do you guys want to know the story, the Xbox story? I've got one.
I'll let John decide if he wants to know. Gary, what's the story in 5 words or less? Go.
I don't have 5 words.
All right.
So I'll tell you the quick story, the quick one. When I first started working at GameStop, 2004, I was 17.
Dude, hold on a second. Before you say anything, you are such a GameStop employee. I have to say, like, you are, dude, you are a proto, and I love you, but you are had you not told me you were a GameStop employee, it all has just come together. John, right? Like, it is coalesced. Of course. Please continue, please.
So anyway, so when I used to work at GameStop, 2004, they go, your first paycheck, you have to buy an Xbox. So I was a PlayStation Nintendo guy, right? And
wait, they told you have to buy an Xbox?
Yeah, it was a joke though, because
okay.
everybody there played Xbox, Halo, and all that fun shit, right?
Right.
So I'm looking over the side of my screens. I've got a photo of me like when I started. And I got one. Cool. Awesome. So this is around the PlayStation 2 era. And after working there for so long, you come to find out like Sony was knowingly manufacturing their systems like shit so that their lasers would die. So you'd have to buy new ones. And if you know, it's one of the best selling consoles ever. So like we would always get people bringing them back in defective and all that shit. And then we used to get emails from them like talking about these things, like how to talk to these customers when things would happen. And then the PlayStation 3 comes out and Sony's like, oh, we have the 6-axis controller. That's why we don't have the rumble in it. Well, it turns out they stole the technology and never paid for it, the DualShock, which is why later on they got sued out their ass.
Oh,
so,
I remember that. Yeah, there was a whole, yeah. Okay.
So although, after 13 years, fuck Microsoft for firing me, but it's a situation of, Sony was such a lying piece of shit company for the longest time that I just don't like them. To me, they're like the scumbag system.
So relatable to today's topic.
It really is. Although I will say, if you are talking about scumbags in the video game industry, you'll never buy anything.
Oh, I know.
You'll never buy anything. And this is somebody who was a game tester for I don't know how many years. They treat you like shit by design. Design. And they're all dude, when I worked at Activision, the people that led that thing up were the most misogynistic, quasi-racist, fucking coke smoke, like all of these guys. I'm talking about the not us grunts. Like, I'm gonna buy coke. I mean, I have no money. Like they were all scum of the earth. There's a reason why Overwatch, they had to change the name of that McCree character because that dude fucking was like roofing women. They are all scumbags.
Oh, I know everything, and that's actually why I don't buy Nintendo stuff.
I don't think that permeates into Nintendo. I think Nintendo is just it's the Japanese culture of like, we are an insular thing. I don't think they're partying in Nintendo. Nintendo's just very Sue friendly. That's the issue with Nintendo. They're just like, whatever you do, you can get cease and desist. But I'm talking about the American side. They're fucking scumbags, man.
Yeah, well, I know. That's what I was like. I used to be like such a Xbox fanboy, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing here? Like, these guys are just as scummy.
But hold on, but you have an Xbox, so how does that now connect to that?
I have everything.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I just play my Xbox more because I play a lot of games. I've got like 1,200.
You know, we should all play. We should all play that fucking Marvel. John, you saw
Marvel Rivals?
that Marvel side scroller? Was it called?
Oh, the beat 'em up that they just announced, right?
Beat 'em up. Dude, the beat 'em up with the Marvel versus Capcom type graphics that they just fucking announced.
The Shredder's Revenge team, I think someone said that actually made
Yes, dude, it's fucking beautiful. It looks fucking gorgeous, man.
I'm really excited.
Like the way they gave Storm that like Marvel versus Capcom look where she's got like the flowing hair, like dude, they fucking nailed it, man. I'm really excited for that one. Sorry, right. NECA sucks. Let's go back to.
Let's talk some more shit. Let's circle back to what Jonathan brought up earlier, and I think this is the one of these things. Steven has no foot in the race, and it's premium DNA.
Oh yeah, 0.
Yeah. So,
what do you mean, Steve? Oh, Steven, you don't buy any premium?
No, I don't.
Well, that means
I'm surprised because they have their aesthetic game is like similar to like cartoon NECA and Super, but yeah, okay. I mean, you're better off at this point because
you would have just given them money for nothing.
Steven's very vanilla, very just Ninja Turtles. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You really don't collect anything other than Turtles?
0. Nothing, just Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
that's honestly good for you.
Yeah.
Wait, do you collect just Turtle NECA stuff, or do you collect like Playmates Turtles or any of that shit?
If it looks good, I get it. But mainly 95% of my collection is NECA.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is
and you never get any other stuff for the most part.
He's got some Mondo behind him.
Well, yeah, I got the Mondo, I got the BNG, but like I said, 95% is NECA.
So you can't afford to be mad at them.
Well, yeah.
If he boycotts them, it's over. He's no longer.
I'd be saving money.
Yeah, he's saving so much money.
That's 3 per design that he gets money that he gets to save.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for me personally, I feel like premium DNA is like they kind of
they're the bottom. I mean, yeah, I think if you're going to make a list of the companies that we know the names of, you got premium DNA at the bottom because at this point, I think they're just not going to make anything or give anybody anything. So I think they're eventually going to fall off the list. But right now, they're the bottom. Then my thing is, does Mezco come in next, or are they on top of NECA? Because even though they don't ever talk to you or reply to you, they do still do the thing.
Wait, are you ranking by what? What are you ranking it by?
So at the bottom of like customer service list, Mondo at the top.
Oh, customer service.
Yeah.
Mezco.
Well, but does Mezco's lack of communication make them better than NECA's scenario?
Mezco's awful, dude. Mezco, because you just won't hear anything.
Right, but is that better than threatening emails, deleting comments. Like,
I'll say this from a purely getting things perspective. I've at least gotten some stuff back from NECA customer service. Like I've at least gotten them to engage. Okay, cool. You know, like even though their customer service sucks, I've never gotten Mesco to engage. I've never gotten anything back from Mesco. I have to even when it's simple shit like I don't need a return, I need them to sort out their rewards because I'm missing rewards. Their customer service is not only does it suck. Not only it's not that it's negligent, it's argumentative. It's combative. It's not a hey, we don't have time, we're not gonna. It's a like they're looking for like a fight when they respond back to you with a one-word sentence and there's not even a name. You know what I mean? It's like when you just are talking to a guy. It's I can't imagine anything worse than Mesco. Other than Premium DNA, which is nothing, which is zero response, customer service response, nothing happening.
All right. So then NECA.
Hold on. Yeah. I found the photo of one of my when I worked at EB Games before GameStop bought it out.
Oh, I'm
giving way too much ammo to the community on this one, but it's pretty.
I'm gonna love this photo.
You ready for this MySpace?
Can I guess the photo?
Sure.
Are you in GameStop in this photo?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can kind of see it too.
But it's a photo of you. Okay, all right. So, you know what? No, just go ahead and roll it. All right, I don't have anything.
Oh
my God!
There it is.
It is so that time frame though. It is. So, this is like I listened to Sum 41. I listened to Disturbed.
This is a Disturbed,
this
is like a Blink 182 album.
Oh my God!
This is like the back cover of a Blink 182 album.
Static X is definitely on your playlist or your CD collection.
Yeah. So
it reminds me of that. What's that song? We're going down in it early. What's that? We're going down swinging.
Fallout Boy. I don't think you listen to Fallout Boy.
Fallout Boy. That's who it is. But yeah, that was me back in the day, man. Look at this.
Wow.
That's old me.
This is definitely a Metal Boy.
Wow.
Needles all the way. What's the story behind Needles? Because it goes all the way back.
Wow, you were Needles for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. So this is actually when I was on my way to the Meadowlands for my last Major League Gaming tournament to play Gears of War when I was an MLG. So the Needles name is not as crazy as you think. So back in the day, 2001. I used to sign all of my drawings with the word doodle because I was a basic ass 14-year-old kid or some shit. I don't know what it was. So I used to write doodle, and then it started turning into noodle because it was just different. And then I started writing needles because I'm scared shitless of getting my blood drawn. So I'm literally scared of needles.
So you pulled like a Batman where he's like, bats scare me, so I will embrace my fear. And
pretty much. and then on top of that, I made it my AIM AOL Instant Messenger screen name, and I spelled it wrong because I didn't know how to spell needles. I put 2 D's in it. So I just kept it for 25 years now, almost.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Can we go back and see more pictures that you had in that? I just want to see that thing that you had where it showed like the collage.
And how many times did you get to see Godsmack in concert?
I've never seen him. Look at that one. Look at the eyebrow ring.
I like. Did you make your angriest face before they said this, before they that? Did you say oh hold on a second. All right, or was that just your natural you?
All right, now I'm seeing this photo with the cross on your neck, and then I'm thinking more Creed.
Funny, yeah.
Ooh, I could see Creed. John, that's a good pull, man. I could see Creed.
He's like, in your
Nier,
head.
You know what that shirt says? Nier will get it. It says, "I survived Baron's chat." This is
oh my god!
OG
you have an I survived.
Warcraft.
Yeah. John, that's a Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. I know.
Okay. Yep. Baron's chat was always the most racist chat there was.
This is just an old ass, like all my old profile photos. Everybody can see these as a friend, like on Facebook. It's ridiculous.
Oh wow! So
Yep.
these photos are like circa Warcraft just coming out. Like that's like 2004.
Yeah, a lot of these are. Yeah, because that was my very first photo. It was done with like a flip camera, like an old like a Nokia thing or whatever.
Yeah,
2006.
is this in a bathroom?
Yeah, so I had this really funny. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was mainly MySpace, but whenever I was traveling, for gaming and stuff, I would always take selfies, MySpace angle selfies, taking a piss, and I thought it was the funniest thing. So there's just a whole album of me on MySpace back in the day that was me taking pisses in different bathrooms.
Okay,
it is
Gary.
funny.
You know who I just realized who I think you look like now, and it's I think you look like him how I remember him in my head. Remember Jonathan Davis from Korn?
I get that, dude, all the time.
Okay, all right. I like it just hit me. I was like, who does Gary look like? And now when I saw that, kind of like when we talk about Sum 41, I'm like, didn't Jonathan Davis have your look? I guarantee if you look him up now, he probably does. He just looks like an old man. But like, I'm talking about peak Jonathan Davis.
Yeah.
I look more like him now than I ever have because I wear glasses and my hair is starting to recede a little bit. So
yeah, you definitely can pull off the. That's so funny, dude. I'm sad now because John showed me some pictures of young John, and he had looks. I never had looks. I just kind of always looked like this, but just younger. So I never had like looks. I wish I had like a progression.
Just
but I wasn't
a 10-year-old hairy little shit running around.
What happened?
Just a 10-year-old hairy little shit.
Yes.
Full beard.
Full beard.
So no, Near, actually, funny enough, Korn was my favorite band growing up.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I was obsessed with Korn. I
saw Korn when I was in Miami. I was working at the Aventura Mall, and they Korn had a tour with Limp Bizkit, and I think I was a teenager. I don't know how old I was, but I saw them do their whatever their fucking. I like Korn. I actually legitimately liked Korn. But I also like ICP. So what is that fucking?
Man, I saw so many bands in high school. I went to Ozfest like twice. So there's bands I don't even remember seeing, and I have to like really think like, have I seen Korn? I know I've seen Pantera. I've seen Jane's Addiction. I've seen so many people.
Great, dude.
Crazy. The only band that I've not been able to see that I would love to see is Metallica. That was like my jam back.
I've never gotten to see. I would love to see Metallica. I never got to see them.
They'll be here, I think, in May. I could actually open my window right now and look at the Syracuse Dome where they're going to be playing. They're doing a stadium.
Oh, nice.
Are you going?
No, I don't like Metallica.
What?
I just don't like
you
that.
Look like you and you don't like Metallica?
Even in the days
I used to listen to them growing up, but I'm just not really a big Metallica. I don't like mainstream stuff.
Yeah, I don't. I will randomly just like put them on Spotify every once in a great while now just to hear whatever new album or song or whatever is coming out.
Yeah.
But I want to see them because of how much I fucking loved them in middle school and high school.
So what was
your guys' most mainstream concert that you ever went to? Like, I'm not talking about like indie band. I'm talking about like the most mainstream. This person band is on like everybody knows them, and I feel kind of lame that I went to or maybe you don't feel lame, but like what is that?
I've got it, but I want everybody to go first.
Hold on, I'll give you mine, and then you gotta follow up mine. Project Revolution Tour, Snoop Dogg, Limp Bizkit, and Korn. I lied. Linkin Park, not Limp Bizkit. I've never seen Limp Bizkit.
Snoop Dogg alone that's a good one.
That's good.
All right, Steven?
I've never went to a concert.
Oh my God! Please change that this year. Stop buying some NECA stuff and take your family to a concert.
Steven, how have you never gone to a concert? What do you like to listen to? You got
I actually like to listen to everything. I have a mix.
That's easy. Then you go with wherever your family wants to go. Please do that.
You guys ever heard of Jamiroquai?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They have a Jamiroquai action figure. I want it so fucking bad.
Yeah, SH Figuarts, I think. All right, Near, who's yours?
It's Billy Joel.
For real?
I love Billy Joel was my first concert, and I saw Billy Joel last year. I saw him again last year, I also saw Billy Joel when I was a kid when he was touring with Elton John, because I love Elton John because I have tastes like an old person, but I think Billy Joel's a fucking genius. Unironically, he like it represents vintage New York. Like I feel like all his lyrics are, I don't know, dude. Like I just think that dude is such a fucking storyteller. And and again, this is from somebody that likes ICP and dumb bullshit like that. But like I just think that guy's a fucking lyrical genius. So I will see him whenever. And then the other person was Stevie Nicks, because she's a fucking genius and she's like wild. And so and they're all like it's like mainstream. You listen to it, and it's really before my time technically. Like I shouldn't like that. Like I should be just listening to Korn and stuff like that. But even when I was a teenager, I was like, man, fucking Billy Joel fucking slaps, dude. Like I was just like into it. And so I don't know, but yeah.
All right. Well, that was a really long answer. I really don't even want to go now.
I fucking opened myself up.
God. So obviously, it was I saw Ozfest, saw Ozzy Osbourne, but if you were talking mainstream, it would be when I was in. This is probably elementary school. Garth Brooks.
Wow, Garth, you're making fun of my Billy Joel thing.
No.
Garth
I'm
Brooks
happy you got to see him. I'm just not going to spend 10 minutes talking about it. I will say, as soon as we sat, like I'm walking, I have my soda cup, and we sit down. And as soon as I sit down, and I'm squeezing the cup with my legs, as soon as that pressure happened, halfway up the cup, it just popped apart, and the Coke went all over my jeans. So I had Coke jeans the entire, which is different from when you have Coke jeans.
Right. I would pay $713.75 to get a video of you spilling Coke all over yourself, and I would
kid me.
I would just I don't care. I would just cherish it.
This was helping his parents.
That means a lot to me. I've been going through a lot of old.
But hold on. But you were a kid.
I had another thing I was gonna say. That the later in life in high school, Bob Dylan.
You saw Bob Dylan?
Yeah, and it was an awful show.
I heard his shows stink.
Awful. So I
heard his show suck mainly because he refuses to play anything that like anybody knows.
Anybody gives a shit.
People want to hear.
Yeah. So we went. This is high school. So this is like. Maybe like the year 2000 or something. I'm there with my best friend who loves Bob Dylan. He got me into like a lot of the music that I got into back in those days. But he wanted to go. I'm going to go with him. And I don't even know how long we were there, but he was just like, this guy fucking loves Bob Dylan. This is a huge thing for him. And I don't know, 30 minutes in, he's like, let's fucking go, man.
Wow.
He was so pissed. It was so bad. So they come out and they're all in these like, Western style like get-ups with fringe and rhinestones and shit. And he's got backup musicians and singers, and they're all like walking up in a line and doing a thing. And he's like, I just want Bob Dylan sitting on a stool fucking singing his songs.
That's why you go see Bob Dylan.
Because, but it was all this bullshit. He's just like, let's just fucking go. I was like, wow, this is a big deal.
That's crazy.
No, but I've heard that about him. That's such a it's such a cynical thing against your own audience. Like when like you refuse. I will say this. I told you last year I saw Billy. He makes no bones about like, I'm just gonna sing everything you guys want to hear. I'm not gonna try to like, here's my piece.
Because it's like Bob Dylan is like, I just want to play the things that I want to play, kind of thing. I'm tired of playing those old songs. But you wouldn't be in that spot with the ability to choose to play that song if it wasn't for people putting you there.
Exactly. But he has disdain. He's like one of these guys who I think he has like a disdain for his audience. You know what I mean? He has like, it's like this like
thing. Don't go in the room.
Like, I'm not gonna play, Tambourine Man. Like, what the fuck? Go listen to it on your, like the dude from Radiohead is like that too, man. He won't play Creep. He won't play like any of his fucking. Radiohead is notorious for just playing like whatever the fuck they want to play, and good luck if you just go to a show.
Yeah. That's horseshit.
Anywho.
Yeah, I'd be so mad, but yeah, I totally get that. I've only walked out of one concert my entire life, and it was last summer. I went and saw you probably know Mudvayne, the new metal band.
Yeah.
I walked out of Mudvayne. I was like, this is horrible. Oh, it was bad. I saw Cold Chamber though, and they ruled, so that was great. That was a
I
childhood
saw
checklist.
Tool in concert, but one of the opening bands, I can't remember the group the guy was in prior, but they were on tour together, and they had a new band. And in the 90s, whatever that band was like popular. The new band was real shit. Everybody fucking hated it, and they let him know. They were like, we're tired of this fucking opening act bullshit, shitty songs. And they got booed off the stage because it was that bad. It was awful. So then when Tool came out to play, what's his face, the lead singer,
Maynard.
Yes, he turned his back. He played with his back to the audience the whole time. Never spoke to the audience. Never had in between songs. He had his back turned, played every song, and they fucking left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it his band or someone else?
What, the band that got booed off was a different group.
Okay.
I can't remember what the band and who, but yes.
Okay, I didn't know because I know that Maynard James did like A Perfect Circle, and I think like Pussifer or some shit like that. I don't know.
You know who I saw, Gary? I'm sure you would like it. I saw Guar.
Oh, I've seen Guar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
saw Butthead game.
What happened?
From the Beavis and Butthead Sega game?
Yes, that Guar. That should have action figures of their own band, which I think they might.
I think Super 7 just did some or something. I think they're probably fucking Reaction or something. But I saw Guar figures recently.
Yeah, I saw Guar, and it was a tiny venue too. It was they went on this tour. There's a Fort Lauderdale venue that's like it's probably a 150 seater venue, but it was Guar, and they were just right there, and they had their giant costumes. It was fucking pretty awesome.
Yeah, I actually at our local amphitheater, there's like a VIP area, and you can watch the show like from the bar. So we went and watched the show from the bar because they pull like big fake dicks and they shoot blood.
They do.
You're just like and like all over the crowd, like they're hitting you with blood and cum and green shit, and you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah, pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like getting my clothes dirty, so I went and got a snack while I watched them from the monitors. That shit's they're nuts. They were at the Mudvayne show, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because their lead singer died.
Yeah, the lead singer passed away. They have a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lesson of the day, Steven, go to a concert.
Yeah, I'll get the stuff thrown at me.
Can you go to one? Steven,
go to a normal concert. At our age, go to a concert you can sit down. I fucking hate standing at a concert.
So do I.
We got to see Churches a couple years ago.
Oh, nice.
If you guys, Churches. Yeah. And at the venue here is just like it's a square layout, but the floor, you just stand. That's it. But you can pay more to go upstairs and sit on the balconies. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll pay more. And we just sat there at a little high top, and it was amazing.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at nowadays. All the stuff I listen to is like, I listen to deathcore, metalcore, hardcore, anything that's got core in it. Like anything that's heavy. Like that's what I listen to. And like a lot of these bands play standing venues a lot of the time. So like I have a bad back. I have to lean up against the wall the whole goddamn time. I can't go up to the front. I gotta stand in the back like a fucking loser. But that's like most of the stuff I listen to. But then like, thankfully here in New York, we get a lot of good shit, and they play the amphitheater, and you can just sit down the whole time, and it's awesome. I think Creed's coming in September, which I'm super hyped about because it's the funniest goddamn show we're to go to. So Creed, I'm super hyped on.
Wait, you're unironically hyped to go to Creed?
No, I'm ironically.
Oh, ironically. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, like we're in on the joke.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. They still make their money.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. Like that's really the situation. But there's the sit down, and then there's the fucking field. And I always go to the sit down because my friend's boss buys like VIP passes for the entire year and then gives them to employees. So he's always like, "Yo, we're going to the show," and we just get like VIP treatment the whole fucking time, and it's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. So
going
I
to
can't
the
wait
old
for Creed
concert.
So yeah. So anyway, let's talk shit again before we wrap this up. Well, what the fuck were we talking about before we got premium DNA?
Who cares?
So premium DNA. We ever getting those fucking Earthworm Jim toys?
If I don't get those toys, or if I don't get that third Battletoad, I feel like I'm already mentally there. I'm just gonna sell, even at a loss, my premium DNA stuff.
Yeah, I bought I pre-ordered Jim and Psychro from them, and then I just bought everything on AliExpress.
Yeah,
I was told the AliExpress stuff are the factory rejects because most of the stuff that I got is fucked up.
Yeah,
like it's got paint scratches on it. I've got I literally have stuff like sitting here, like one of my gym heads has like an eyeball that's like not painted properly.
Yeah, the paint is absolute garbage on these gyms.
Yeah. The first one I got was okay, but he didn't come with the back flap.
Oh.
So my Psychro's missing a tail, and then my Jim's missing a back flap, or his back flap. So I, bought a second one who's in worse condition, but at least I got the back flap. So like that's kind of how I feel about that. But like I'm friends with the owners of Premium DNA. And
don't tell people that.
I'm not gonna give anybody names, right? I think Near knows the names, but like
I mean that's all public.
Yeah.
I DM the asshole on LinkedIn, and then the guy that handles their social media stuff like replied and said to answer the things you sent Matt or whatever his name is. I was like, okay, Matt is too much of a bitch to reply.
Well, I think Ben handles most of the stuff, but Ben's like
I will say on the record, everybody from Premium DNA has been very nice to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really mean anything unless you do the thing, like unless you start talking to
right.
Okay,
because then I'm gonna start calling you a bitch.
I don't need to hear an explanation of what's going on and this and that. Just relate that to people. Just tell people something. You know what I mean? Like what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
it's been like 2 years, right?
Since it's July.
It's not been 2 years.
No, I don't know when they took pre-orders. Yes, probably 2 years. But when they stopped replying to people or putting anything on social media was the end of June or the beginning of July, depending on the social platform. Right. And then they started updating their website around October, so it's been under construction since October.
Yeah, and like that June one is the day after I messaged them because I said something. So I talked to Ben a lot, and like as Near was saying, like they're awesome. Like they're actually really nice. They're really nice, and whenever someone's had an issue, Ben has personally taken care of it. Like, get me his order number.
Well, if you're friends with them, let them know. Make some kind of fucking updates.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at. So, like, I've distanced myself because, like, people keep associating me with all these companies that I don't work at, and people like in the Wagon thought that I actually worked at NECA, but Ben and Matt are in the Wagon. And last June, when shit started, like, what the fuck's going on with this? And people were talking about, oh, well, the reason we're not getting our gyms is because they spent all the money from the pre-orders and now they can't pay the factories over there to get their shit shipped to them, like the rest of the money. So now they're selling them all on AliExpress. And I'm like, that's bullshit. They're not doing that. So I hit Ben up and I was like, yo, this is what's going on. And like, he saw the thread. I said, something needs to be done about this because that's not good. He told me that the licensee is the reason they haven't been giving updates because there are fuck ups with the gyms. They didn't want people to know that there was fuck ups on the line, so they just wanted to redo them all without like saying that there was an issue and giving nobody updates. So then the next day, Jonathan remembers they posted an update and it showed like all of them in the boxes, like in the Earthworm Jim branded.
There was prior to the shipments are coming. Here's pictures of the boxes. They did acknowledge on social that, hey, just to let all you fans know that the products arrived, but we were not satisfied and we think you deserve quality products and all that stuff. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, well, hell yeah. That's the thing that I want Super 7 to do is like get the wax faces and be like, this isn't what we agreed upon and make it right because we don't want our fans to spend the money and have a bad product. So I was like on Team Premium DNA when that happened because of their past. I was like, well, I'm going to give them a chance because I don't know the truth behind all the scenes.
I've been told the truth by them. Like,
okay, and I have
their word.
Plenty of emails with their social media guy, and it's just it's a lot of non-answers, but it's basically what you're getting into. So I will let you continue.
Yeah. So whatever you're referencing with like that, I thought that was during that June-July update when they showed the boxes. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, I want to say it was before that June-July thing, because the June-July is the last post on their social. You can read it now. It just says basically the stuff's coming.
Right. And so Jim was supposed to be here in November 2023. Then they pushed it to May, and then they went radio silent. Then June, July is when they made that post after I DM'd them. And now here we are in April almost, and they've been radio silent since the end of June, July. And no one knows what's going on with them. And that's part of my problem is like now I want my money back.
Yeah.
They're all sales final. So I have to charge back on my card, but then I'm an asshole because these are, acquaintances of mine.
No.
And like, I went ahead and already bought them all.
Like, you do a chargeback and they're not going to be like, all right, let's get our daily chargebacks. Oh, fuck Gary Dolan. They're not going to know.
Well,
just get your money back.
Well,
and if
me,
they think you're a dick, then that just says even more about them.
Yeah. Well, for me, like if you pay with PayPal, it comes in as a PayPal claim. So they'll see it. Like, so that's why. But that's just me.
And it's like, can I add a note? Because they need to hear it.
Right.
This is what everybody should be doing. Just charge that shit back. If you're not going to send us the figure, do not feel bad about it.
Isn't it too late? Isn't it too late to charge a lot of it?
Yeah, it's 180 days, I think, normally. So I'm kind of up shit's creek. I'd have to charge. What you do is you have to do it with your bank, and then the bank has to hit up the purchase processor, and then they'll.
Okay, but Gary, I guess what I don't understand is you're friends with him, right? Okay, I'm friends with you. If you had an issue, if somebody came up to you and they said, "Hey, man, a bunch of people are talking about Flipboard, and you're not saying shit," I'll probably go like, "Oh fuck, you know what? Let me say something. Let me think of something. Let me say something. Let me do something. Let me create an action." If you're in their ear, they have to know that. Like, what is or at least they give you a justification. What is their justification for we're just going to say nothing? What is they must have a reason. What is it?
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm asking, like, what is
I don't know. I mean, I will say someone has actually did that with Flipboard, and I was like, what are you talking about? He's been giving tons of updates. April, dude. Like, what the fuck? Someone did actually reach out to
about Flipboard.
Well, yeah, if someone just like, what's going on Flipboard? I thought it was supposed to be out by now. And it's like
usually the people that don't read.
Yeah.
These are the dum-dums that we talked about earlier.
But no, I took care of that. So my PayPal's in the chat. Send me my residuals. But no, like what you're saying is like the reason I have not gone out of my way to message either of them is because like I've hit a point where I'm like, I'm just over it. Like, what line of bullshit am I going to get? Like, you guys showed in June that the final products were shipping from China.
Yeah,
we are now in April.
Asked, that conversation, the email that I have, it's like it was going on for months, and in October they started doing those updates, and that's when he said, well, that he basically told me the same thing that June post said, which was, well, the shipments are arriving, so customers will start seeing stuff soon. Sorry, our website's been down, kind of stuff. And it's like, and I even told him, well, that's what you said in June. And it's like, if you said it in June and you're saying in October, and now it's almost April, this is all just lies. But even if it's like, well, the licensor, which is, I get this stupid shit in the email too, and it's like, now this is what you can tell people, but don't tell anybody this. And I'm like, I didn't sign an NDA, so like, there's no reason I can't just like share all of this. I'm not a journalist. I have no integrity. There's no off the record here, but I've been.
You really don't owe anything,
right? But I've honored that. Even in the live stream, I read the stuff on the live stream, which apparently the guy ends up watching. But I read the stuff that was allowed to be said and not the other stuff. But I'm like, if you can tell me any of this stuff, or you can tell me the things that I can share, why aren't you guys telling the people what can be shared? Like, why the fuck am I the person that's responsible for sharing this information when you could just like type a thing in a Facebook, choose a color background, and then
I
post
know.
it.
Dude, it's so funny. What you're saying is so true, and that's why it's so irritating.
Yeah.
I have the same reaction when he responds. I'm just like, why don't you just say it? Don't tell me. Like there's always this thing where this pattern of like, well, we can explain what I don't. Here's pretend. How about this? Pretend you're gonna send it to me. I'll do a matrix dodge and then hit send and send it to the fucking everybody. Why me? Just John is right. That's what they do. They're like, I'll explain it to you. It's like I'm nothing.
Because
I'm
then
nothing in the equation.
when you go and tell everybody, now you get all the comments and the inquiries.
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly you're the representative
So
of
the
that.
trick here, I just realized the trick is we make a video about it. We boil it down. Here's the thing that we can say, but I need every person that's watching this. You can comment down below and just tell me that you're happy to be here, but then go to their social media, whatever image, and just fucking rail them.
Yeah.
That should be the call to action. Go to them and bitch and have a flood on all their social media or emails.
And you know what? We'll still get questions about it.
Yeah, we will. Because somebody didn't watch that part of the video.
Yeah. Same people are like, hey, where's my thing? By the way, that's a Kickstarter guy who said that. So technically, I don't have to even deliver anything. I still will. Relax.
So, Near, did you end up getting this guy? From
the rat skeleton. Yes, I do. I have him and the pig.
Bought this at FYE a couple weeks ago. Clearance, $22. Wow, got it home. Immediately snapped the arm off as I was trying to move it. So now it's sticky tacked on.
Yeah.
The tiniest peg I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Oh wow.
It's not constructed very well.
No, this figure is awful.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I literally opened it, I posed it a little bit, and I was like, oh cool. Gonna move the arm around a little bit. I literally just did one of these, and then I moved it up and it just snapped off. I'm like, oh,
who's that?
Yeah.
Well, this is this is premium DNA.
That's from the Battletoads line.
Yeah.
I mean, look, skeletons are notoriously difficult anyway as figures. I think
unlike for Mythic Legions.
That's what I was gonna say. They came the closest to like but even there's a few things with I thought with the thighs that are like these. I feel like I'm gonna break them, but skeletons.
Oh yeah, the thigh pegs are a pain in the ass.
That's what I'm saying. Like they've popped off a few times. They're the closest in terms of like they're good, but like skeletons are very difficult. But those are purely aesthetic. I don't even touch them.
Yeah, I was pissed. They broke, and that's part of the customer service. I bought one of the Battletoads at PowerCon when I met them, and the leg snapped off immediately, which is notorious. Like it's known for them. Their leg just snapped. It breaks the peg.
For which one? For which figure?
Rash.
Battletoad. Oh, the legs are super loose on those Battletoads, man.
For mine, it was the on the ball, it was too tight. So when you try to move it, no matter what, heat or anything, it made like a loud squeaky noise. And Ben was like, "Yeah, it's an actual issue with the integrity of the plastic. It's not the plastic did not mold well, right." And I snapped right off.
You look at him and go, I'm glad I paid money for this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the integrity of the plastic. Fucking fix it, dude.
Well, he did. I mean, he sent me another one. This
is like whenever I way back before I moved here, ate at a restaurant with my girlfriend. It was a local seafood restaurant, and we had ordered calamari, and we're eating, we're having some fun, and I was like, oh fuck, something really hard in there. And so I get the waitress and I'm like, hey, I just bit down on this thing. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, she goes, oh, let me check on that and I'll be right back. She leaves. She's gone for like 5 minutes, comes back and goes, so fun fact, that is the beak from the octopus. And I was just like, fun fact? What the fuck is fun fact? I almost like chipped my tooth on this thing because it's like bone. And I didn't. There was no like apology. There was no like, we're so sorry, we'll take that off the menu. Like there wasn't anything. No discount.
Oh, they didn't comp it.
Nothing was done. Just so we still joke
Why,
about
they gave
it.
you a
It's
fun
like,
fact. You got a free fact out of it, dude.
yeah, fun fact. that
That's
was the apology or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's kind of that fun fact. The plastics shit.
Yeah, you came in. You came in there. Fact
Sorry.
you walked over the fact.
Isn't that fun? Anyway.
Wow.
That was your prize in your cereal bowl.
Dude,
So are these guys actually nice, or are they fake nice? Are they business guy nice? Because it sounds like, I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's about action.
Yes.
So if there's no action and not saying anything is an inaction.
Right.
If there's no action on your part, we don't want to hear it. It's just get it together. But keeping everybody in silence was like a bad move for almost a year now. So
yeah,
great. Wow.
So now
are they ever going to recover? I don't see how.
Who knows? I don't see the Mars Attack stuff ever coming that they were doing. They did Care Bears.
No.
Coming.
Also, Super 7's Mars Attack actually looks pretty damn good. Have you seen
that?
I
know. Yeah. I was not buying them because I was going to buy the premium DNA ones. But now that I don't think those are ever coming.
No.
I'll probably do those. But I was going to say while we wrap this up, because we went a little over than we expected. I'm sorry, everyone.
That's all right.
But now that you are in the toy game, how are you guys going to be handling possible flipboard issues?
They give us a certain percentage. The factory gives you a certain percentage of replacement stock. It's not a lot, but it's a percentage of what you have. So, because Flipboard is an origin style figure, which is I wanted to make one when we were even talking about Flipboard because the bar of things that could go wrong is very low. Have you ever held like an Origins figure? Like they're very. If you ever hold an Origins figure, there's not that much you can do wrong with them. Like this Prince Adam, I mean, you could pull off the head, you can pull off everything is modular. You can't really break these. And so I was like, if we make one like this, the bar is going to be it's not going to be like a NECA figure, or a Mesco figure where it's going to be like, oh my God, like you got the wrong thing. So I don't want to jinx myself, but I foresee a lot less of like this is going wrong other than like shipping mishaps or, I didn't get or whatever. There is a certain percentage of stock for replacement, which comes with the factory. If it goes beyond that, then I guess we just have to refund people or whatever. But like, we'll do right by people that send us like photos or there's something wrong. I look, it's a little different. Every Kickstarter I've ever contributed to, I go in with the mindset that this is a Kickstarter that I'm trying to help this thing get going. That being said, we internally are treating it like, no, we really want to fulfill. We really want to impress. We really want, I want people to get this and be real happy and be like, and so it is a simple figure by design. It is like Masters of the Universe Origins are, I'm not going to say unbreakable, but that style of figure, that 5.5 inch scale Barbarian is made to be durable.
Yeah.
So
it's made to be played with.
It's made to be played with. So I'm not so concerned about it's not as intricate as a premium DNA figure, but that's also why we loaded it with stuff. We gave you Catcho. We gave you the Scepter FOMO. We gave you the fucking cloak. We gave you, there's a lot of shit that's packed in there, to kind of make you feel good about you're supporting this line. Yeah. I'm not super concerned about it because according to Ace, we have the same percentage of replacement stock that everybody gets. You buy something from the factory, it might be 2%. I don't want to misspeak, but it's I think that's what it is. It's when something is produced, it's a 2% replacement. That's how many you have if something goes wrong. And if you don't burn through that, then you have shit to give away for whatever, you know what I mean? But that, so I'm not super concerned. My concern now is it's in the middle of the ocean and just it getting to where it needs to get to and all that. So funny, like a friend of mine I'm always ripping on, Home Arcade. The guy I was telling you about, he's like, dude, you got a tracking on that thing? I'm like, yeah, it's in the ocean. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but what about the tracking? I was like, okay, so now there's lots of water, guys. And then 2 days from now, okay, there's still a lot of water. It's like, what? You don't need tracking in the ocean. You get tracking when it hit. Like, it's not the president flying there. You don't get a global fucking, where is he at any given time? It's on the sea. And when it gets to the next port, then you get tracking. But I was like, it came from a place of love, because he's like, I just want to know if everything's on deck. It's like, it is. Look, it's going through the same thing everybody goes through. Am I worried? Yes. I'll feel much better once Ralph gets it in hand and they're secure. And it's like, because he's real reliable. I trust him with everything. But I just want to make sure it all gets to him in one piece, so to speak,
Yeah. Listen, if everybody wanted to pay an extra $40 premium, we could just Apple AirTag to every single one of them. They'll know exactly where they are at all times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason I asked you that was because I feel like a lot of people ordered with love. Like, they wanted something really cool. And in my personal opinion, if you went in and funded Flipboard, you're not going to be that asshole that's going to complain about a tiny paint chip.
Well,
on something.
You got to read.
No, we have a very supportive base. I will say this, and that's just a theme of the channel too. The people that love
that is evident in how fast it funded.
Yeah.
This is a different type of person.
Yes, we don't have the channel is not a giant channel, but the people that love the channel really love it, and they really go in and they support. I have not run into, other than people trying to be funny and pick on me, I have not run into anybody who's like, I mean, not that they should be upset, because I think I've been pretty clear that it's going to take a fucking year for this to come out, but I've not really run into anybody that's legitimately what the fuck, this and that. We'll deal with that person, this and that. I'll pin his comment, and no, we'll deal with that. But there's a lot of love in this. Also, people want to see. Look, people know Ryan. People know the things that he went through. And this is his kind of, he was his baby. And so there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of people rooting for him, because he was such a big part. I didn't even realize how much of a dude, all the Four Horsemen knew him. Everybody knew this guy, you know what I mean? So it's going to mean a lot, for people to get that too, because of him. He's a big part of it as well. So, I think we're different. And also, I will say one more thing too. This is a character that didn't exist before. If we were to make a licensed property like Battletoads, then you have to now you owe those fans something good. But this is a character we created, you know what I mean? It's not we do owe, but there's not any expectations where it's better not fuck it up.
Better get the likeness right. Better get the proportions right.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't got to do any of that.
I would not want to be the type of company that has Ninja Turtles on my roster, because holy shit, dude! You just get the expectations that comes with. You know what I mean? This is a fun thing. That's hey, we made this little thing. Yes, it's a big little thing now, but we just made it. So I think people temper the expectations a lot, and I have not felt one iota of any kind of negativity reach my ear about any of it. Everybody is supportive.
And trust me, I say a lot.
And John, and I know John. Okay, I will say most of the negativity comes from John.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'd say 99.9. If it's a Venn diagram, and it's you see a sliver of everyone else, and then the rest is just Jonathan Maxwell.
Can we get? You and I talked about this about a year ago. Can we get a Beastman style brown flocked, and call them Nostalgor or Nostalgor.
Oh God, that's great.
With like spring action glasses. You know, you hit the button on the back of the head and the glasses fling off like a projectile.
You know, it's so funny. Like John is such a part of my life now that like I feel like I must do something as a reference. But now it's like I want to make sure that it's the best thing that it could be.
Yeah,
because like
make a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, he's like, there's like a little character called this, that, like, because then I burned it. I burned the only thing I can do. So now I'm like, I have to almost moving forward, assess all angles and be like, when does he kind of like how does that? But I do like him being flocked because he is flocked, as you see in real life.
Get like the ventilation unit shield.
Yeah, this hair and the beard is it's that little can of fake hair.
Oh my God, that would be great. That would be great. John also has very hairy forearms, if you notice. So like I think there's gotta be a lot of flocked points.
It's interesting that you would say that I'm hairy.
No, but here's the thing. Like I'm not super hairy on my forearms, not as hairy, but I'm extremely hairy. My trunk is extremely hairy. Okay.
Like a fur tree.
Yes. But I'm Middle Eastern. I don't know what happened to you. I have an excuse.
Yeah, it's just a little bit on the arms, but then the rest is good.
Okay. The rest is good.
We'll merge and form one hairy beast.
Yeah. But anyway, I love I do love, say again, what Nostalgor? What is it?
We'll call them Nostalgor.
We got dude, it's got to be one of these things that when it hits, it hits you like, oh my God, yes, that's the fucking you must, you know what I mean? So like we got to go back to the lab, dude.
Yeah, we'll get him the staff of unlicensed since he reviews so many unlicensed products, you know.
Yes. Although the
staff of licensing.
Yeah. Licensor. I would love to see Nostalgia Unboxed custom shoes. Like here's how I would design the shoe. I would what's the tongue, you know, like the front part of the shoe, that's got to have glasses. That's got to have like a Velcro thing with glasses right away. And then on the side, instead of the swoosh, ew, yes. Instead of the what could, oh man, what could be there? I do love the glasses. Maybe
literally the word swoosh because of the sound effects in the videos, which I don't do as much now, but
yeah.
Whoosh.
Yeah. There needs to be an arrow somewhere. John loves his arrows.
There you go.
His thumbnails,
yeah.
He loves arrows.
It's a big red arrow.
Arrow has to be somewhere. Gary, are you writing this down? We got to fucking get this.
Oh, here, dude. All in the noodle.
All in the needles.
Yes. And then the shoe cost $15,000 because that's what he makes a month on his channel. But yeah.
I wish
80,000.
I wish. All of this to say about NECA, by the way, and where I stand about not buying their stuff is that the thing is, I won't buy or review their stuff until they make a public apology and acknowledgement of the things. As soon as that happens, I'll be like, okay. And I will acknowledge that they acknowledged. And then
it's that easy, huh?
It's that easy. You need to get me back on your team. It's as easy as what I got me off your team.
Being grounded goes a long way.
Yeah.
Feeling like you're talking to people that are grounded goes a really long fucking way. That's all I'll say. And it doesn't hurt. Like, I feel like if you don't come from an arrogant place, there's no reason you shouldn't be like, hey, mistakes were made. Let's move forward. But like, if you do come from an arrogant place, of course you're going to be like, what? Not doing any of that beta shit. Fuck that. You know, like, well, let's all guns blazing. You know what I mean? So there you go. Made an enemy. You made an enemy out of this precious boy that loved your NECA product and probably still does, but he feels conflicted about going.
He built his empire making fun of you.
Yeah.
And Auto T.
I remember
mean,
that's the first thing I saw of him. I remember Justin Garber sent me a thing. Hey, dude, I think you'd enjoy this video. I of course never watched it, but I was like, oh, in theory I would enjoy that, and never saw it. But then he just creeped up, and then he made himself undeniable, and now you can't not watch him.
It's funny. The channel name was NECA Unboxed when I started.
I
was the only one to do their products. I mean, I love their stuff, and financially, it's great that I don't want to spend $600 at Haulathon or go on the hunt. But it's like, I love the Sesame Street line, and then when the Big Bird comes out, I'm like, oh my god, and they look so good scaled, and it's like I want to, and if people want us like. Near and I have seen numbers in the back end with other companies and stores and stuff. So we know that we do have influence on people buying stuff. So I know it's just one person, one channel, but that's like potentially thousands of views, thousands of people that were influenced to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And we've seen thousands of dollars for a company a company will get paid thousands of dollars because we made a review on one of their products. We see those numbers because we get like affiliate links and stuff. So there's no real benefits to talk about NECA products in a video if they're not sending me free stuff. There's no affiliate things so that I get paid for everything I sell. Like, it's at that point doing it because I love the products and I truly want to show it off and talk about like Jason Yang and all these incredible artists that are doing these things. And like support them, put them up on the pedestal. But right now, I can't even give the love to those people that I truly care about because I have to just like, I can't, we still talk about it on live streams and stuff. We dedicated a whole thing around Haulathon or San Diego Comic-Con or something. But
and just to co-sign what John's saying, I will say numerically and with hard numbers, it is a money loss for these companies that does hurt, and I don't think they understand it because we don't get affiliate links. John and I are in a position, and there's other people that are in these positions too. Like there are other toy people that talk. I will say Pixel Dan made an amazing Flipboard video, and we got a ton of sales, and I saw the sales in real time from his video. I was like, holy shit.
Big Bad Toy Store sold out.
Huh?
And Big Bad Toy Store sold out.
Yes, and trust me, they had a lot. They had a lot. I know how much they bought. They had a lot. And like even the stuff like and I'm not going to make John peel away the curtain because unless he wants to, but like, there have been like affiliate retailers that have said, hey, can you talk about Joy Toy? And they've offered like commissions. And I will say just on a personal level, I've probably made maybe $3,000 or $4,000 off of commissions, which means they made a ton of money. Because the commission is only a 3% thing. So that means that like they are banking. So, and I guarantee you if NECA had an affiliate link and Mondo had, and again, I'm not the biggest, John is bigger, but there are bigger than us. I guarantee you if they had affiliate links that they would understand the importance of getting connected to the community that talks about you. Because I know for a fact that people that watch the channel have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for these fucking products, and you create a fever, and there is an ecosystem to all this. I didn't mention those numbers as a bragging thing. I meant it as there is real things, there are real numbers, there is real money to be made in this ecosystem if you play ball and understand that like if you're cool to us, we're cool to you. And I don't mean just us like John and I. There are people that want these things, and they come to our house and we show them these things.
And those are the like people that will be like, okay, now do you want this? Hey, I get this. I get this. Like they start seeing those numbers on the first review you do with them, and they're suddenly like trying to throw everything they have at you because they're like, holy fuck, these guys are making me money. So,
right. So I said all that to say, and I think John is saying, you can imagine what NECA is making. Right. You can imagine when you're talking about something that has, anywhere between 10,000 to 50,000 views on their thing, and like even if it's 10% of people from that, from those views that buy it, you're banking. So become part of the ecosystem and stop being assholes.
Yeah.
Understand that this is a circle of life and play ball.
Yeah, I mean, I got Steven and I both got you got the Toon diorama, right? The new one.
Yes.
They made 2,000 of those. There's no way the 2,000s all people actually wanted. So
right.
They should have. In my personal opinion, they should have done at least 5,000 because people want that Toon dial because they missed it during COVID.
Right.
It's been it was remember, they weren't bringing it back. It's never coming back. And people got pissed off about it. This thing was going for $800.
Yeah.
People are buying it now. But that's what I'm saying. What you're saying, it's you get the people that I'm going to say matter back in good graces because they're the ones influencing people. I got into Mythic Legions because of a YouTube channel called Toy Bro. I don't know if you guys know Jared, but Jared's in the party.
Yeah.
So he is the reason I get all the fucking World of Warcraft knockoff shits.
Right.
And,
right.
And all Mythic Legions. And whenever that man puts up a fucking review, I usually buy what he's doing because I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. I just got one of my members in Discord sent me a list of the figures that they just bought from Mondo because of my reviews. They said specifically, because of your reviews. And there were, I think it was 5 Mondo figures, mostly it was all X-Men and then the new Batman Beyond, and it's just that's a couple $1,000.
Yeah, it's insane.
But that's a very real, and that guy just represents one thing. That's just the guy who was vocal to John about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there is more money to be made if we're all kind of playing nice with each other than if we're not. It doesn't so now John's boycotting, you know what I mean? Other people follow his lead. It just creates this weird thing. It's so much better. And not that there won't be criticism moving forward, because there always will be, but I don't know. It's so much better if you understand that your game is selling to adults, and adults look to other adults to basically, especially if they're going to pull the trigger, to co-sign certain things.
Yeah.
And so it does not pay to have this mentality of having a combative relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's going to hurt your numbers. So if you like your bottom line, I don't understand. I understand why you behave that way.
It's just a public statement saying we know and we're sorry and we will try to do better.
You don't have to say what happened. You just have to apologize. I pride myself on full transparency and explaining situations. So
that's mostly because you don't get any sun and you're just really transparent.
They don't need to say a goddamn thing. They just say we've heard you. I know what Jonathan thinks. We've heard you. We understand. We are doing the proper steps behind the scenes so that we can avoid this in the future.
Yeah, and it's they can say that and lie to our face, but there is so much money in them investing into hiring the right person to handle that and actually take that seriously. And we talk about this on a live stream, the fact that every single fast food restaurant out there isn't going, all right, this year we're implementing the Chick-fil-A method and we're just going to be fucking nice to people.
Yeah.
So that we can also have lines out into the streets and cause public traffic issues because
the weirdest thing everywhere. Yeah.
We are just going to be nice. And look at how much money we made. But they just won't do that. They will not invest into the kindness. They're going so far as to Taco Bell, you can't even talk to a person. You walk up to the counter and they just point at the fucking self-checkout stuff. Yeah. And old people are like, well, I don't know what to do. So then another customer has to show them how to order. You're not making the money. There's 2 people sitting in here. Do the Chick-fil-A method and your shit will be packed.
Yeah. And great reference, because Chick-fil-A has a lot of people that boycott them.
Yeah.
That won't buy their product because of their morals. But they do such good customer service and good product that a lot of people look past it, like me. Like April likes going there. We're super, like, we're allies.
Yeah.
You know, but like we know that they fund murderous organizations overseas, but they got good chicken nuggets, you know, and they're really nice.
This is really kind of didn't land when you
Yeah,
ended it that way. I know they murder people, but they got them nuggies in that pickle juice.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But like that's the, you know, to your point, Jonathan, that's exactly what you need to do. Like you can do fucked up shit, but as long as you're being nice on the you know, on the forefront, people will just eat it up.
You know, people talk about like shills and all that stuff, and like we know that you are one. Remember that from earlier?
I remember.
Yeah, that's you with Super 7 now. Brian.
No,
you know what's interesting that you brought up Super 7 is that like where NECA doesn't really have a face,
right? Blaine's the closest thing,
huh?
Blaine is the closest thing because of the reels and shorts and stuff, but he does. At least he used to be, and I think back whenever Gary was talking like last year, he was big on Twitter at the time, and like handling, like people would comment like Mo, like, "Hey Blaine, I know I love your guys' stuff. I'm so sorry, but this is a thing," and he would like kind of do some follow-up stuff to get things resolved.
But that I haven't seen. I feel like I haven't seen him speak in a while. Like
right. I goes to what Gary said that it.
No,
like,
he does his Tuesday Toy Hall show on Instagram Live. But besides that, like he'll do his San Diego Comic-Con interviews and like the Walmart Con videos, but he doesn't do anything like a lot on social media anymore because he does product development. Like he designs and does a lot of that stuff. So that's his job.
Well, they should look. Mondo is excelling in their face department.
Yeah,
like they are. NECA should look at that. Super 7. The spirit is strong, but the execution is weak.
Right.
They like Brian Flynn is not a great, not a great choice as the face of the company. You don't look at that guy and get excited. You know, you look at guys like Peter and Hector and you get excited. You know what I mean? Like they know.
I like Kyle. Kyle's a good friend of mine too, but I like Kyle.
I like Kyle a lot, but I don't consider Kyle the face of Super 7. I feel like I rarely see Kyle.
No, the only thing for me for Super 7 is obviously Brian, and then there's like that annoying guy that's like just a generic guy that's like always on Facebook. He's always like, "What's going on?" And I'm just like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I'm already out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not landing. I think if they gave the reins just to Kyle, maybe it would land a lot more because Kyle is very likable and he's pretty candid. But Brian is there's something. It's just not working. You know what I mean? It's just not. But I said all that to say maybe NECA would serve well with like somebody who, I don't know, represented the company and like what John said, like, hey, we hear what you're saying and let's, I don't know, move through and don't feel like you're so insular because like that's how Mezco feels. Like Mezco has like who the fuck are we even talking
Who is
to?
Mezco? Like I don't even know what. I don't know if are they in the US? Are they overseas? Like I don't know.
No, they're in the US, but like nobody knows anything about them. I've never met anybody that knew anyone that worked other than D Amazing, who works for Mezco, but reviews Mezco products, which is strange in its own way. I don't know anyone.
So they have the appearance of like a lot of these unofficial, these unlicensed brands in China where like, the name, but they don't have any presence online. They don't have a website. The only way you can get them is through these third-party websites. So like,
right.
You're like, I don't know what to do. That's what Mezco feels like.
Yeah.
But licensed. But I was saying the whole shield thing is that I would consider myself, for anybody, it would be Mondo stuff because the team, because the presence, because they're out there. They do weekly streams. They are in the chats. They're in our live stream chats.
Yeah.
They are present every sense of the word. They're in it. And they're all great people. They're awesome to talk to, listen to. They don't get pissed off about stuff and like overreact to things. Which I could learn
just to piggyback on what John said, it's not all puppy dogs and roses. And a lot of times the criticisms that we have even for Mondo, they know, like when they released the first Ghostbuster, the Peter Venkman, cost $200.
Right.
When they first released it, it was $200, and then there was a shipping charge. There was a lot of money too. I think John did this, but I know myself. I hit up Peter from Mondo. I said, dude, what the fuck is up with that shipping charge? And he said, I know, I'm working on it. That's what he said. He said, like, he doesn't have to tell me anything.
Yeah.
But we also weren't pulling punches. We're like, you're already asking people. I can't go on my channel and be like, $200 plus shipping. Great. Let's get. I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Right. Because every figure before that had free shipping.
Exactly. But you know what? They had that. They turned it around, and then it came with free shipping. And by the way, there's a reason. They're also. I like the idea that we can say things that they can't say. There's a reason the Ghostbusters cost $101. You know how much? You know that's what they cost, right?
Yeah.
They cost $101. Do you know why that is? It's a fuck you to Hasbro. They'll never say it, but Hasbro said if you're going to release Ghostbuster figures, they cannot be cheaper than $100. You know why? Because if you're going to compete with us at our game in the 1/12 scale, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like pay us a license, but fuck yourself. So Mondo was like, okay, 101. I even found, I'm surprised they didn't say $100.01 just to fucking, but there's a reason for that. So those are guys that they're kind of rebellious that way. That's why I like them, because they're kind of like, they're a little bit punk rock where they're just like, fuck you. We'll do that. And they change things in real time. You know what I mean? They got hammered pretty hard about like, I'm paid $200. I got to pay shipping. No. And so I think that moving forward for toy companies, do the opposite of what Premium DNA is doing, where they're like, we won't talk to anyone because that's how it works. No, you should talk to everyone. You should be as open as possible. You guy who owns Premium DNA, show your face. Don't be afraid. Own your company. You know what I mean? Like, and be very candid with people. And I think that NECA should take that for what it's worth too, because it's going to get harder and harder. I know they're latching on to 2012, but it's going to get harder and harder to sell turtle stuff as we go into like the cartoon stuff, which I love the most. Man, how much juice do they have in the tank? Like, it's going to get harder.
It is, because all they can do is go pinless, and then some people will buy. But then you got Red Sky, some people will buy, but you're running out of stuff. But I wanted to say, earlier we talked about, when we were talking about Mondo, when we were at Designer Con, remember I got a chance to do the reveal of Super Shredder?
Right. Yes.
So that's why. Sorry. So
that's why I love Gary.
Was it Mike? Is it Mike the one that was there?
Peter, the short dude. Peter.
I don't remember. It could have been.
There's Peter. There's Hector. I mean, there might be a Mike. I don't know him. There's Bob Fulkerson, who looks like Guillermo del Toro.
No, not Bob. I didn't meet Bob, but I think it was Mike. I'm sorry if I'm getting the name wrong, but he's the one that's like, I was like, hey, can I take a photo of this and blah 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 blah. And I introduced myself, and he goes, oh, I'm in the Party Wagon. I know who you are. And I was like, oh, I can post this, and he's super cool. I was let's get feedback. Like, announce it. So I announced it before the show started. Because he mentioned that you were going to be there too, which was really funny, and then you were going to do the whole thing. But anyway, the part of the feedback, being part of the community, he's in the Party Wagon. He saw the feedback in real time while we're at Designer Con. Now he has pupils because that's what everybody.
That's true. No, you know what? That actually is true. That feedback did come directly from you and the Party Wagon in terms of giving him the pupils. By the way, they're all in the Party Wagon. I know Hector RC is in the Party Wagon because Hector, if you're watching, was the one that approved of his. I saw him pop up on my feed because I'm an admin, John. I don't know if you know, but like I barely pay attention to like admin stuff just because I don't know, I'm an idiot that way. But like I thought he was texting me. I saw Hector RC, and I saw they're technically all in the Party Wagon, so they do fucking listen. That does make a difference.
Yeah. So they see all the actual direct feedback.
What if all of the criticisms when people get Super Shredder in hand is like the pupils? Like what?
No, there were comments where people said
yeah.
that they liked him with the white pupils.
Yeah, already.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there are. Yeah,
I
well,
like
you're
people
always
that
gonna
said
get that.
I'm one of
You're-
the people
you're
that like. I like the van with the hump, which is the way it's drawn in the comics now. With
Yeah, the turtle
hump
van.
instead of the flat.
You
top.
liked it when it had the bigger hump.
Yes.
They got a lot of criticism for that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Which is it really is impossible because the Ninja Turtle frames are inconsistent, as is every 2D fucking cartoon that came in the 80s and 90s. There's too many pulls to be like, this is the official way. I think they were just trying to appease the majority.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with that because there's so many scenes where like they're like this big in there, but then there's like they're this big inside of it.
Right.
Like, the back end is like changes variations of sizes. So there's no way to define
if you guys haven't watched, oh god, if I can't think of his name now, there's a channel, Raz Rentals.
Yeah,
who did
Raz
like
Rentals.
a 2-hour breakdown of the van.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, man! That
Yeah,
dude
he
put the work in.
Yeah, he's I think you said that to me, John. But yeah, he's very. It is what it is, but I don't know. Get better is the theme. Just get better. Communicate more. It's okay to say you're sorry. It's okay. You don't have to say you're sorry. Just be like, we fucking hear you, and then like, hopefully, that's going to be the model. I will say this for like a dude like Bobby Valla, he communicates on a weekly basis. There is no notes that he has a big company now. He hears everything. And he's the face, and so that he actually has a good model. He has it like he's accessible. There's no criticism where it's like, oh, he never heard it. I mean, he might disagree. So I think people need to and he actually is a perfect representation of his company in a good way, versus like somebody like Brian Flynn, who I don't think is I think I get the feeling that a lot of people that work internally for Super 7, I could be wrong, I feel like they're disconnected from Brian Flynn. I feel like he comes into the office and they're like, "Oh boy, all right, let's hope we can convince him to." Like I don't feel that there's I don't feel that there's one voice when I see Super 7. I feel like he's like this boss that they have to convince of shit. Where with NECA, I feel like I see Trevor's. Now that I know what Trevor worked on, I see his fingerprint on everything. I see his so that's the other thing. But NECA does that well. I think most of their problems would be solved if they can get somebody that fucking communicates and better customer service and never send out an email like that ever fucking again. Those 3 emails.
That person better not work there anymore.
Yeah, dude. That dude better have gotten fired. Although I have a feeling those emails came from the top, so he's probably not fired.
That was sometimes I deal with that at work. Tom's like, send the email. Like, no, that's not something I'm sending. He goes, send the email. I'm the boss.
Because look, I don't know this about Tom, but if he's a hothead, and I say that with love, if he's a hothead, then you shouldn't have your finger on the butt, because I'm a hothead too. Yeah, but I don't.
So am I.
But I know enough about myself. And John, we've had this discussion before. Like, I get very emotionally charged about fuck this person and they're dead. But I would never.
And I go, but he said this thing because he's actually a supporter, and then you're like, fuck you for not backing me.
Yeah. Yes. But I own that, and I it's something I have to work on. But I would never send an email. I'm from the corporate world, so I know enough to know that take a day. Or take 2 days, and you don't want that shit in print, dude. That email's gonna live for perpetuity, man. You don't want to have that in print. That's gonna always be funny. It's gonna always be funny.
That guy definitely should never work there because he's cost them thousands of dollars. He's put such a reputation on the company, which we've made in 2 hours about.
Yeah.
Except for 5 minutes about GameStop. But then, yes, the amount of money that they can make just by investing an annual wage into one dude or lady to run social stuff is crazy. Just pay somebody $55,000 or more, because they're going to deal with a lot of shit, and depending on where they live, they may need to make more. But we're going to say a minimum, pay this person $55,000 a year. You will make more than that back and have way more people that are happy because
Right.
Agreed. Yeah.
Oh, Steven,
And it could be the same person. I guarantee you, they can double dip in customer service and social media, like
No,
like an all in,
100%.
like
Like 100%, like guaranteed. And I would love for someone from there to watch this. I could forward this to anybody the hell I want, and I could, whisper it in the ear. But I don't like, personally, I don't like to tell people how to do their business, like to them directly. I'd rather come on here and have a group discussion and hope that they see it.
Well, we basically told them if they're listening.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
everybody look in the camera and tell them directly.
if you're watching this right now, look in your phone screen, take a screenshot. Yeah, that's just, wrapping it up. Like, it's just say something.
And talking NECA only. We love the products. I will speak for the two of us because he doesn't boycott. He still reviews them.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit. You can say whatever you want.
I love it. They make me happy. What do you want? What do you want me to do?
I don't know. To make an impact. Join me at the hip.
I'll start boycotting when Steven
go to war with me. Yeah, Steven will never. That's all he's got. I just mean to collect. But we love the products. We love the teams. I mean, I don't know Randy beyond anything other than like some random ass podcast he did where he went to talk about his resale store that he opened up.
Yeah, Yester Toys. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I know of him. I'm like, okay, disconnected. I don't know. I got in the game before he was like, or after he left social media because people suck. But, seeing Trevor, I thanks to you, I like intentionally wanted to send him some of the stuff that I made for like the NECA van, like the windows and stuff. And it was just like thank you kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, I still care about all of these people, all the names on the boxes. I have no problems with, unless it comes to find out that Trevor is the guy that sent those emails. Then I have a serious problem with him. That
I would be shocked.
Blank mystery. I would be too, because he just doesn't seem to be that personality. But like, if it's somebody that I know and care about, but then they were that person, then I can turn. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to be I don't know, like not shit on or something, but they deserve that
scorn.
people are. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they deserve to be disciplined for their actions.
Yes,
because they are costing thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yes,
like 6 figures, easy.
And
yeah, I also don't think I'd be shocked if that email even had an effect on getting people to. I guarantee the percentage is low.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it scared some people.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, but like I think that percentage is low. Like I can't imagine that it's a high number.
Right. And people asked they were like, I've been trying since before these emails to get a label to send it back, and they won't reply to my email.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But the thing is, like, I have reviewed things on the channel from NECA and have had, especially stuff like the Vacation Bebop and Rocksteady. It's like, it's a random ass, like, I have the regular ones. I don't need these guys. But then you make a video that showcases why they're so awesome, and you get lots of comments of people going, "Oh man, I wasn't even gonna buy these things, but now after seeing this, like I'm gonna go get them." Like, so that also helps the shelf warmers get sold because you've made a review on it, and there's a lot of them this year and half of last year, which is nice to see that they're producing more stuff. But it's a combination of they're not selling as much probably. For many reasons, maybe they're just not as sought after or whatever, but it will all make you money by just doing everything we said, because we're smart people and we know better. So listen to us and pay us.
Yeah. And I run a business.
Yeah.
So that's my foot in the race. I know the numbers we do. they can.
Anyway, Gary, the point
It
is
is
just
fun.
fucking talk to your people and let them know. Just get them in line because it's you're the
All right.
linchpin. You're the linchpin of all this. I'm friends with this guy. I'm friends with that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking talk to these people and let them know, please.
Hey Matt, hey Ben, hey Randy, hey Trevor. Like you just gotta call everybody.
I pull out multiple phones like at burners.
My
For
neck up
everybody.
phone.
He's like one of those like skits from the 80s where they're holding the phones and like the like it's stupid. Do that.
I just pictured like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, like Wolf of Wall Street, like
Yeah, exactly.
like that shit. Damn. Well, for everybody that is watching, we could probably continue talking for a little bit longer, but I was like, let's just try to do like 45 minutes to an hour. And
And I jokingly said 2 hours.
And
No,
yeah,
I
2 hours and
knew we
24
would
minutes.
burn it because
Yeah.
that's just.
I knew we were too. I knew I was just trying to give Jonathan and me some respect since it's 11:30 over here.
No respect for you fucking East Coasters.
In the coast that matters.
I'm from the East Coast, so you're not gonna
Yeah,
get me to
aren't
disagree.
you from Florida though, near?
I'm from Miami, Florida, though. That's not redneck
fine.
Florida,
That's,
right?
No, that's gay Florida. You're good. You're good.
I'm a Miami guy through and through.
Progressive
but
Florida.
I grew up with fucking New Yorkers, so I know what's up.
So,
All right.
yeah. But I guess it
Well,
counts.
thanks for the invite, bro.
Yeah, 3 weeks in the making.
Yes.
Now
You
everybody's
can
been
find
asking for
me-
this. Shut up.
Please go to my Ko-fi store. My Ko-fi store has billboards and window slots. It's got a really nice April billboard. It's got some fun window and door slots that you could get at the Ko-fi store. You could also follow me on the
Oh man, you lost
nostalgia.
it. Oh, you lost it.
Oh, I did lose it.
Oh,
I'll stop.
Jesus. I'm so sad about him now.
I'll
Anyway,
stop.
hit up toystalker.com.
Use promo code House Hatter. Save some money.
You can buy some flipboard and you can buy some poster prints, which were hand drawn by the Mad Hatter and colored by Nostalgia Unboxed. And
Yes.
just
You can if you get a street scene and you turn it around at my Ko-fi store, you can get an April's apartment that looks really fucking dope. You can put all your guys right there, so you don't have to use the front of the street. So you get a whole apartment right there. And if you got the van, you get all the smoke and the guns blasting and all the fun stuff that you could put on your van as well. There you go. Did I get it all? I'm sure I forgot a few of them.
Isn't there like a half naked April tied up or something?
There's a half naked April. No, X-Men style. There is a 4 turtles descending on giant Krang, kind of top down. There's a really nice. I actually want this one, but I haven't bought it yet. Mouse pad or a print that looks like the turtle com, but the blueprints of the turtle com as well.
Could you be talking about this?
Yes, there you go. Don't you want that? That's actually pretty fucking dope.
It is, and
It
it's
is.
available in a like extra long version as well.
Yeah. You see how I know all his shit?
Look,
Don't-
this
don't-
is
don't-
2 hours and 27 minutes. Nobody's gonna make it to the point to know to buy any of this stuff.
I know, but I'm trying to make the point that I know all this.
Oh, okay.
It's a good friend. Before we close out, you want to see the saddest photo I just saw posted in the party wagon?
We
You already showed us your photos.
We both knew it.
This
Oh,
guy
wow.
just
Wait,
standing
so
here
what-
waiting, like the box is gonna open itself.
So what's happening in this photo? This man is waiting for the NECA rep to open it up.
I
Yeah.
think so. That's not working.
Or Target rep. I think it's Target doing these right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not NECA or third party reps or whatever.
According to my NECA rep, these are NECA reps, and they're dated for tomorrow,
Oh,
which is
okay.
the 31st.
Oh.
If you're just watching this,
Gary, you have the 4-pack already? The Mirage 4-pack?
no,
Oh, I thought you had that.
no, the unmentionables.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
No, I knew about them. I just didn't have them. So I want them. Got to get them.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, because Trevor yesterday gave me. No, I'm joking. But that I do want that 4-pack a lot more than I thought I would.
We're gonna need some weapons for those boys. We need somebody like Icon 3D Labs that can do that like really nice printing.
Yes, please. So I don't have to buy I like they have like the McFarlane gun packs.
Oh yeah, that dude should make those weapons.
Yeah.
Even though I have a beef with him.
Yeah, they're great. But all right, everyone. Love y'all. Thank you for joining. We should probably just end this before we all fall asleep.
Yeah.
Jonathan's already fallen asleep.
Yeah, just when you edit this thing down, just do the first hour and just end it.
Yeah.
There's no editing going into this.
This is the latest I've seen Jonathan. This is the latest I've seen John. Usually when I text Jonathan, it's that annoying thing where it shows that his phone is silent. So I'm like, the fuck am I going to text this guy? I'm not going to get a response. So like, I'm actually shocked that he's even fucking.
Yeah, you message me, I'm in bed, and I message you when I wake up in the morning at 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. My phone is never silent, so I wake up and it's just like, hey, stupid. Here's something stupid. You know what I mean? I was like, how come it doesn't work?
I sent you such a great audio gold, and I can't wait for you to listen to it.
I know. I have to listen to it, but right now I have to be like a husband, so I can't do it right now. But all right, guys, thanks for the fucking invite. Thanks, Gary and Steven.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Come soon.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys must be beaming that you got such giant stars on your fucking on your podcast.
Yeah,
yeah.
We tried. 80K Johnny over there.
What am I, chopped liver? Shut the fuck up. All right. Anyway, thanks, people. Thanks everybody who listened to this nonsense for how long? Two hours.
2 hours, 30 minutes. Hell yeah, dude.
God. All right, Gary, cut it off. Holy shit.